We need all of the senior football parents who are escorting to be on the track at this time. All of the senior football parents need to be on the track.
Hey, hey, welcome to love. fresh cut grass. I'm back in my helmet, cleats and shoulder pads. Standing in the huddle, listening to the call. Fans going crazy for the boys that fall. They didn't let just anybody in that club. Took every ounce of heart and sweat and blood. Get to wear those game day jerseys down the hall. Kings of the school, man, where the boys are from. Well, it's turning face to stars and stripes. It's fighting back them butterflies. It's calling in the air all around. Yes, sir, we want the ball. And it's knocking heads and talking trash. It's slinging mud and dirt and grass. It's I got your number, I got your back. When your back's against the wall, you mess with one man, you got a song. The boys are fun. In little towns like mine, that's all they got. Newspaper clippings fill the coffee shops. The old men will always think they know it all. Young girls will dream about the boys of fall. Well, it's turning face to stars and stripes. It's flying back them butterflies. It's calling in the air all around. Yes, sir, we want the ball. And it's knocking heads and talking trash. It's slinging mud and dirt and grass. It's I got your number, I got your back. When your back's against the wall, you mess with one man, you got a song. Turning face to stars and stripes. It's fighting back them butterflies. It's calling in the air all around. Yes, sir, we want the ball. It's knocking heads and talking trash. It's slinging mud and dirt and grass. It's I got your number, I got your back. When your back's against the wall, you mess with one man, you got a song.
All right, our first set of parents need to take the field. And Coach Jones, make sure they get all the way out there. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Badger Stadium here on the campus of Arkadelphia High School. And this matchup between the visiting Bulldogs of Waldron High School and your Arkadelphia Fighting Badgers. We're glad that you're here tonight. It is our annual senior night with our final regular season home game this evening. And we'd like to introduce our senior football band, cheerleaders, dazzlers, tennis, golf, they're all here tonight to be recognized, all of our seniors. All right, so at this time we're going to begin with our Badger football players so that they can be recognized and then go up and continue preparations for this game. We're going to begin with number 1 on the team, and that is Alan Buckley. Alan is a running back and is being escorted this evening by Candy McClure, Brian and Eric McClure, Alyssa McClure, and Cordell Sims. Ladies and gentlemen, Alan Buckley. Our next senior is number 3 on the team, Carter Babb. Carter is a wide receiver. He is being escorted by Chris and Amy Babb. Our next senior is number 4 on the team, and that is Brock Curry. Brock is a kicker on the team, and he's being escorted this evening by Brett and Rindy Curry. Our next senior wears number 8 for the Badgers, Donovan Whitten. Donovan is a quarterback on the team and is being escorted by Donnie Whitten, Carrie Whitten, Staten Whitten, Walker Whitten, and Sandra Capps. Ladies and gentlemen, that is Donovan Whitten. Our next senior wears number 9, Latonio Hughes. Latonio is a wide receiver, and he is being escorted this evening by Latonio Hughes, Mia Bowens, and Tony Hughes. That's Latonio Hughes. Our next senior wears number 11 for the Badgers, and that is Rocky Hughes. Rocky is a defensive back, and he's being escorted tonight by Nakia Henderson and Pearl Perry. All right, our next senior is number 12 on the team, Bryston Thrower. Bryston is a defensive back. He's being escorted this evening by LaShunda Thrower and by Bree Trist and Timmy Rushing. That's Bryston Thrower. Our next senior is number 21 for the Badgers, and that is Trip Campbell. Trip is wide receiver, and he is being escorted by Chris and Sandy Campbell, and his sisters Kennedy Campbell and Ashley McKenzie. Our next senior was wearing number 26 earlier in the season, and now he wears number 5 for the Badgers, and that is Hayden Harper. Hayden is a linebacker, and he is being escorted this evening by Dwayne and Carrie Harper. That's Hayden Harper. Our next senior is number 31 for the Badgers, Alex Gatlin. Alex is a defensive end and is being escorted by Angela Dooley, Wesley Hale, and Nicole Hale. That's Alex Gatlin. Our next senior wears number 44 for the Badgers, Marvion Berry. Marvion is a linebacker and is being escorted by Eliza Davis and Marvin Berry. That's Marvion Berry. Our next senior is Zane Thomason, wears number 45 for the Badgers, and he is a linebacker, He is being escorted by Justin and Melissa Thomason. Our next senior is number 51 on the squad, Jakari Scott. Jakari is a center and is being escorted by Ashley Dixon and Jaleel Scott. Our next senior is number 52, Courtney Brown. Courtney's a left guard and is being escorted by Danielle Brown. Our next senior is number 54, Nigel Robinson. Nigel is a right tackle and is being escorted by Victoria Griffin and Ivory Cheeks. Our next senior wears number 55 for the Badgers, and that is Max Wilson. Max is a defensive end and is being escorted by Ty and Shauna Wilson and Shay Griffin. Our next senior is number 58 for the team, Jacoby Scott. Jacoby's a right guard and is being escorted by Ashley Dixon and Jaleel Scott. That's Jacoby Scott. Excuse me. Our next senior is number 59 for the Badgers. That's Jelias Solomon. Jelias is a defensive tackle and is being escorted by Jolene Solomon and Leatia Munn. That's Jelias Solomon. Our next senior is Tyler Tatum. Tyler's a video manager and is being escorted by Jason Tatum and Jason Tatum Jr. And our final senior football player is Zach Arnold. Zach is a videographer and manager for the team and is being escorted by Maria Simmons. Let's give all of our senior parents and their football playing sons a big round of applause. Next, we'll recognize our senior band members. These seniors will be recognized and receive the traditional gold shoe, one of their marching shoes. for them to remember the fun times of marching practice. All right, we're going to begin with Brooklyn Boyette. Brooklyn is in the color guard and is being escorted by Darren and Holly Boyette. Our next senior is Bailey Boyles. Bailey's a member of the color guard and is being escorted by Wendy and Kevin Boyles. Next we have Seth Campbell. Seth is a tuba and is being escorted by Nathan and Karen Campbell. Next we have Cassie Carosa. Cassie's in the color guard and is being escorted by Mike and Melissa Carosa. Next to her we have Calvin Clardy, a French horn player, and he's being escorted by Michael and Shannon Clardy. Next we have Stanley Cordero, trumpet player, being escorted by his father, Christopher Cordero. Our next senior is Brandon Dickey. Brandon plays the tenors and is being escorted by Tony and Kelly Dickey. Next we have Leslie Dennis, bass clarinet player, and she's being escorted by Sharon and Karen Ford. Next we have Anna Derby. Anna's a member of the color guard and is being escorted by Jay and Susan Derby and her sister Caroline. Next we have Olivia Fanaki. Olivia is a member of the color guard and is being escorted by David and Amanda Fanaki and her sister Hannah. Our next band senior is Avery Garner. Avery's a member of the color guard and is being escorted by Lance and Andrea Garner. Next we have Michaela Gentry. Michaela's a baritone and is being escorted by Dana Gentry and Rakina Gentry. Our next band senior is Kirsten Hall. Kirsten's a member of the color guard and is being escorted by James and Kinesia Hall. Our next band senior is Lauren Jones. Lauren's a member of the color guard and is being escorted by Melissa Curtis and TJ Curtis, Sean and Jessica Jones, Hayden Jones, and Whit Alderson. Next we have AJ Lambert. AJ plays the snare and is being escorted by Nicole Giles and Jamal Morrison. Our next senior band member is Isabel Grace Martin Tyler, a flute player who's being escorted by Randy Martin and Holly Tyler. Our next senior is Sam McAllister, a trombone player. He's being escorted by Emily McAllister and brothers Noah and Morgan. Our next senior is Caitlin McGough, a member of the color guard, and she is being escorted by her parents Chris and Nicole McGough and her sister Haley McGough. Next we have Mason McKinney. Mason is a trumpet player and is being escorted by Brian and Leanne McKinney and his brother Colson. Our next senior is Sarah Miller. She's a trumpet player and is being escorted by Chris and Melissa Miller. Next we have Madeline Neal, a member of the color guard. She is being escorted by Andy and Heather Neal and Morgan. Our next senior band member is Michaela Perry. Michaela is a clarinet player and is being escorted by Lakeisha Perry, Isaac III, and Isaac Perry. the fourth. Our next senior is Landon Radcliffe. He is being escorted by BJ Radcliffe and Debbie and brother Chase Radcliffe. Our next senior is Bretzel Rivera. Bretzel's a trombone player and is being escorted tonight by Ernesto Rivera and Anna Martinez. Our next senior is Emily Rivera. She's a color guard member and is being escorted by Luis Rivera, Kelly Munoz, and Maria Marino. Our next band senior is Connor Robbins. Connor is a baritone saxophone player and is being escorted by Dwayne and Stephanie Robbins. Next we have Madison Runyon, a color guard member. She is being escorted by Brad Runyon and Janine Runyon. Our next senior is Mariah Rutherford. She plays the synthesizer and is being escorted by Ken and Tabby Lancaster. Next we have Lewis Simpson, bass drum player, being escorted by Daryl and Lisa Simpson. Our next band senior is DeLeon Somerville. He's a front ensemble member and is being escorted by grandparents Ronnie and Greta Scott. Next we have Sydney Trigg. Sydney is a tenor sax player and is being escorted by David and Brenda Trigg, Carson Trigg, Savannah Trigg, and Ben Trigg. Our next senior band member is Connor Welcher. Connor is a trombone player and is being escorted by Tamatha Welcher. And next we have Savannah Zeeler. Savannah is a member of the Color Guard and is being escorted by Ronnie and Sandra Land and Ashley Zeeler and Haley Zeeler. Ladies and gentlemen, the seniors on the Badger Pride Band and their escorts. And they will leave the field and we'll have our cheer group next. We'll get to hear from the Badger Pride Band at halftime. I will tell you that this past weekend, Badger Pride Band went to the Lake Hamilton Band Contest and won every caption in 4A. And were named the top band in 4A. And then when they competed against the other bands, they came in fourth place after two 6A schools and a 5A school. So they did quite well this past weekend. All right, you see before you the seniors for the cheer team. We're going to begin first with senior Blaze Batson. Blaze is being escorted by Blake and Jill Batson and her brother Cad Batson. Next to her we have Bailey Boyles. Bailey is being escorted by Wendy and Kevin Boyles. Our next senior cheer member is Anna Derby. Anna is being escorted by Jay and Susan Derby and her sister Caroline. Next to Anna is Avery Garner. She is being escorted by Lance and Andrea Garner. Our next senior cheer is Kirsten Hall. Kirsten's being escorted by James and Kinesia Hall. Next to her, we have Hope Howerton. Hope is being escorted this evening by David and Kelly Howerton. Our next senior is Caitlin McGough. Caitlin's being escorted by her parents, Chris and Nicole McGough, and her sister, Haley McGough. Our next senior cheer member is Skylar Mounts. Skylar's being escorted by Tracy and LaShonda Mounts. And our final senior cheer is Hayden Taylor. Hayden is being escorted by Kenny Taylor, her sister Chandler, with future brother-in-law Trey McInerney, Uncle Craig Cole, and her aunt Gigi. Hayden's mother Courtney was unable to attend due to a recent medical procedure, but we'll send her our best. You see before you the senior cheer members and their escorts. Next we have our senior dance members. Our senior dancers include Madeline Neal. She is being escorted by Andy and Heather Neal and Morgan. Next to her is Haley O'Neill. Haley is being escorted by Kimberly and Ryan Ellison, Eric O'Neill, Lindley, and Emerson. Our next senior dance member is Michaela Perry. Michaela is being escorted by Lakeisha Perry, Isaac III, and Isaac Perry IV. Our next senior dancer is Atlantis Yarber. Atlantis is being escorted by Amber Yarber, Eric Davis, Zoe Davis, and Layden Brown. Ladies and gentlemen, in front of you, you see our senior dance members and their escorts. Next, we have our cross-country team. All right, on cross country, our seniors include Amelia Erickson. Amelia is being escorted by Johan and Candace Erickson. Our next senior is Seth Campbell. He is being escorted by Nathan and Karen Campbell. Our next senior cross-country member is Hope Howerton. Hope is being escorted by David and Kelly Howerton. And our next senior is Reed Womack. He is being escorted by Richard and Brandy Womack. Those are our senior cross-country members. Well, I think I've been told that Mason McKinney should be on our list, so congratulations, Mason. and he is being escorted by Brian and Leanne McKinney and his brother Colson. All right, let's give them a round of applause as they leave the field. Next, we have our senior tennis team members. Our tennis boys were conference champions. Congratulations. And our girls were the runner-up conference champions. So good job to both of these squads. All right. Bailey Boyles is our first senior tennis member. We're honored. She's being escorted by Wendy and Kevin Boyles. Next, we have Stanley Cordero. Stanley's being escorted by his father, Christopher Cordero. Next to him is Brandon Dickey. Brandon's being escorted by Tony and Kelly Dickey. Our next senior is Grace Elmore. She's being escorted by her dad, Barry Elmore, her brother, Josiah Elmore, and Richard and Brandy Womack. Next senior is Kevin Godella. Kevin's being escorted by Paul and Regina Godella. Next to him is our senior Jada Jones. Jada's being escorted by Brian and Shauna Jones. And next to her, we have Mason McKinney. Mason's being escorted by Brian and Leanne McKinney and brother Colson. Next, we have Madison Trigg. Madison is being escorted by David and Brenda Trigg and her brothers and sister, Ben, Carson, and Stephanie. Congratulations to our tennis team. Our next group we'd like to recognize are the Badger Golfers. All right, our first Badger golfer is Connor Covington. Connor is the son of Cheryl Covington and the late Tifton Covington. She's being escorted tonight by Cheryl, as well as his sister Grace Ann and brother Sidney. Our next senior golfer is Carson Eddy. Carson's being escorted by James and Stephanie Eddy and Lauren Fowler. Our next senior golfer is not with us tonight, but it's Spencer LaFont. His parents are Chris and Aaron LaFont, but he's in Fayetteville for a college visit. And finally, senior Gray Manning on the boys' side is being, well, he was going to be escorted by Mark and Karen, but he has been invited to Chenal Country Club today and tomorrow to play in the state youth golf tournament. And so just yesterday, Gray was placed third at the overall state golf championships, and the entire boys team was conference champions. Congratulations to all of these folks. And then on the girls' side, we have Jada Jones. Jada is being escorted by Brian and Shauna Jones. Jada represented Arkadelphia at the state golf tournament and was named all conference as well. So congratulations to all of those. All right, we would now like to take the time to recognize 3 individuals who, aside from contributing to a team wrestling state championship last year, achieved the top honor individually in each of their respective weight classes. So we're recognizing our individual state champions in wrestling. The first wrestler we'd like to recognize is Ryan Rogers. Ryan, as a 9th grader last season, won the state championship in the 138-pound weight class, finishing with an overall record of 24-7. Congratulations, Ryan. We look forward to seeing what you and the team have in store for this upcoming season. Next to him is Landon Kewen. Landon, who is now a freshman on the OBU Tiger football team, is with us tonight. Landon finished with an overall record of 21-5 last season as he finished on top in the 195-pound weight class. Congratulations, Landon. Your hometown is proud of your accomplishments and of your leadership. Lastly, we'd like to recognize Ross Womack, and Ross secured the 2nd individual state championship last season of his career, finishing with a dominant overall record of 24-3 in the 160-pound classification. A fearless and extremely aggressive wrestler, Ross is now competing at Williams Baptist College in Walnut Ridge, but he is still Arkadelphia's 2-time individual state champion, Ross Womack. His father, Richard Womack, is standing in for Ross this evening. Let's give these boys, regardless of age, a big round of applause. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Arkadelphia Public Schools is proud to present the Badger Cheerleading Squad. Pardon me, these are the Dazzlers performing for you, the dance team.
Got a little boom in my big truck. Gonna open up the doors and turn it up. Gonna stomp my boots in the Georgia mud. Gonna watch you make me fall in love. Get up on the hood of my daddy's tractor. Up on the toolbox, it don't matter. Down on the tailgate, girl, I can't wait to watch you do your thing. Shake it for the young bucks and then the honky tonks. For the rednecks rockin' till the break of dawn. The DJ's singing that country song. Come on, come on, come on. Shake it for the birds, shake it for the bees. Shake it for the catfish, turn it down deep in the creek. For the crickets and the critters and the squirrels.
Those are your Dazzler dancers. All right, following them are the...
Welcome to the Southern Bancorp Badger pregame show. Welcome back. The Badgers and the Waldron Bulldogs a few minutes from kickoff. A little bit later than normal tonight because of the senior night activities, but we're glad to sit down with Arkadelphia head coach Trey Shucker. This interview brought to you by Austin Wingfield State Farm. Give them a call at 870-246-2162 or
your Badger cheerleaders. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Badger Stadium and this game between the visiting Bulldogs of Waldron High School and your Arkadelphia Fighting Badgers.
welcome to the Southern Bancorp Badger pregame show. Welcome back. The Badgers and the Waldron Bulldogs a few minutes from kickoff. A little bit later than normal tonight because of the senior night activities, but we're glad to sit down with Arkadelphia head coach Trey Shucker. This interview brought to you by Austin Wingfield State Farm. Give them a call at 870-246-2162 or drop by 620 Pine Street next week to see how Austin Wingfield State Farm can help you. Chris Babb with Trey Shucker and Coach. Final regular season home game. We throw regular season in there. Things go as planned. Well, I'd like to play at home in the playoffs as well, but obviously an off week last week, the second of three. Before we get into talking about the senior class, kind of talk about the off week and the plans. I know you tried to throw a little fun in there because those weeks can get long.
They can, and that's exactly right. We did. We got after it a little bit, but we also spent a day. Wednesday, we took the whole team bowling and had a good time, and just to spend some quality time together as a team. And it was really good to just get away for a second and do that. Of course, the whole team and the coaches had a great time. Just to kind of recover, just spend some time together in a different setting and just bond a little bit, and get away from football. But we did. We got after it a little bit in practice and had a really good off week. Obviously we'd love to be playing on the Friday, but the situation was not that. So we got better last week, I'll say that.
Any future Pro Bowlers that were discovered last Wednesday night?
We did have a few that surprised me. I think we had 2 or 3 in the 150s, and then we had one that bowled in the 188.
Oh, nice.
So that's pretty good for
As was probably several other those combined couldn't get to 188. Let's talk about tonight, senior night. We just saw the seniors recognized on the field for all of the groups that are participate on Friday night, and some of the fall sports. Volleyball will have its senior night Monday night. Let's talk about your football seniors. This is a group of 18 young men that were sophomores your first year here, so you've seen. Although that was a very strange year in the fall of 2020, you've been around these guys for 3 years and seen a lot of development, I would imagine, since you got here in 2020.
For sure. Just this group as a whole, there was a couple of them that were playing in 2020 as a sophomore, but most of them were, development guys, and, a lot of them out there that were just shown. They're on the field now in different roles, offense, defense, special teams. A lot of them are big-time players for us, and that is a testament to those guys and how they've been able to develop and take the weight room serious and take their preparation serious and just being the player that they are right now. So proud, and it's awesome just to see those guys develop into where they are today.
Today, the Badgers are 2-0 in conference, looking to go 3-0. 2 more regular season games after tonight at Ashdown next week, the final off week of the season, then the regular season finale at Malvern. A lot of stuff ahead. Everything is still out there. And talk about the mentality going into tonight's game against Waldron.
Yeah, being senior night, the seniors for sure kind of understand the finality that could be to it tonight. Just last true opportunity in Badger Stadium to be in front of a home crowd. Yes, we want to be here in the playoffs, but that's not guaranteed.
Right.
There's a lot of football left, especially since it's week 7.
Right.
We still got 3 weeks of football left, and I know only 2 games, but there's a lot of football left that can determine a lot of different things. And yes, we just got to take it 1 week at a time. And that's the main focus tonight is worry about tonight, take care of business, execute the plays, play fast, and be disciplined, and just play Badger football is really what it comes down to.
Waldron is 2-4 coming into tonight's game. They're coming off of 2 losses, Ashdown and Malvern. Coach Powell trying to build the Waldron program up. Offensively, what can we expect to see from Waldron?
Yeah, they're going to be in the spread. They're in shotgun spread. They're going to try to get the ball in space to their players and do different things. In some ways, kind of what we do. They're going to see some of the similar formations. 2x2, 3x1 sets. That's basically what they do. And they're junior high. They get into a dead T look. So we've kind of prepared for that a little bit, just because we know they've got the potential to do that. But we are preparing for a shotgun spread. Defensively, they're going to run a 5-2 defense, and then playing cover 2 behind it, 2 high safety, which is really light in the secondary. Their main thing defensively is to stop the run. They're adding to the box, making sure they can stop the run, and when you do that, you're a little more susceptible to the pass. But their whole deal defensively is they want to stop the run.
Well, Coach, abbreviated segment this evening as we had a lot of seniors to recognize between football and band and golf and cheerleading, dance, cross country, and tennis. And obviously this would have been split over 2 games in most seasons, but just, it is what it is. It's the season of 2022, so we appreciate you working with us and getting ready for the game tonight. And the Badgers and the Bulldogs get ready for senior night kickoff. I know the Badgers are expecting a fun night.
Yeah, we're really hoping so. If we can start fast early, we feel like we can have a really fun night with everybody. But that's not guaranteed. First group's got to go out there and take care of business early.
All right, Coach Shucker, thanks for joining us. This interview with Trey Shucker is brought to you by Austin Wingfield State Farm. Give them a call at 870-246-2162 or give them a visit at 620 Pine Street on Monday. Where it's about time for kickoff, we'll wrap up the Southern Bancorp Badger pregame show after this timeout on Arkadelphia BadgerFootballTV.com.
And welcome to Badger Stadium, All Care Pharmacy Field. This is Jeff Root. Along with me is Chase Hartzell. Chase, it's going to be a great night. It already has been. Our own Chris Babb, one of the dads down there on the sideline for all of those senior night activities. And now the team enters the field.
Special night for everybody involved tonight. It is senior night, and Jeff, it's unusual because really this is Arkadelphia's second true home game this year. Earlier this season, the Badgers played a couple of their games at Carpenter Haygood Stadium. Due to this new turf that we're seeing, it's just been installed in the past couple of weeks. Arkadelphia got to break it in on homecoming against Mina a couple weeks ago, but with this unusual regular season schedule, just 8 games on the docket, and this is the last true home game for the Badgers in the regular season.
So, Waldron is here, and they are a game team. They're going to come after the Badgers, but they're a little shorthanded compared to Arkadelphia, so it's a heavy favorite night tonight for the Arkadelphia Badgers, looking to come up with a win and then move into their last 2 games of the regular season. And those will be interesting contests, both on the road against Ashdown and then against Malvern with an open date in between. Tell you what, they hit the road for 2 big games, but first you got to think about your last home game, your senior night, last game at this field, at least during the regular season.
And it's such a special moment, this opportunity to get to play in front of your home fans one last time. I know these seniors would probably like 1 or 2 more opportunities this season to be here in front of the faithful at Badger Stadium, because truly this is one of the most unique fan bases in Arkansas high school football. But still a great opportunity to get to come out here tonight and really just to celebrate not only a great season but a great career for all these young men involved in the program.
Waldron is set for the kickoff. They're wearing white tonight. Badgers with the blue home jerseys on, new uniforms. They look crisp and new tonight. Wore them last week for a home game, and now they're back. And Waldron set for the kickoff. There's not a safe place to kick it. Arkadelphia has return men everywhere you look, so we'll see what they decide to do. Kicking off for Waldron is Braxton Wesley. Wesley's kick is a low line drive shot down the middle of the field. It is returnable from the 19-yard line, up already to the 25, to the 30, to the 35-yard line, cut to the 40, and a hard tackle as he crosses the 40-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Badgers.
Great field position for Arkadelphia to start out the game. Solid return that time. I believe it was Hughes on the return for Arkadelphia, and he's got such great field vision. They're able to extend the play for a few extra yards, but a great open field tackle by the Bulldogs, potentially saving them from even more damage.
We want to say thank you to Southern Bancorp for being our pregame sponsor. A very special pregame headlined by the PA announcing of Steve Patterson as he brought us senior night here and honored so many of the teams tonight on senior night. And now the first quarter sponsor is Taylor King Law. Arkadelphia lines up, first play from scrimmage. Of course, at quarterback is Arkadelphia's Donovan Whitten, and he'll hand off on first down. There's a good gain on first down. The tackle is made, but it's going to be a gain of about 3 yards, and that's the sophomore carrying the ball, Kyle Reed. Arkadelphia lines up quickly. They want to move fast. Arkadelphia is going to line up with 3 receivers to the wide side of the field at the top of your screen, and they'll pass to that side. Here's a throw into the flat. This is Hughes. Latonio Hughes with a hole is going to make a first down as he'll cross the 50-yard line into Waldron territory.
And we're going to continue to see Arkadelphia go up tempo here, trying to get the ball down the field while the momentum's still in their favor.
Evan Bailey is the receiver to the top of your screen. He's alone. 3 receivers at the bottom of your screen, or a running back, I should say, in the formation too. And they're going to give it to Reed. He's got very little room to run because a nice tackle is made. Waldron had a linebacker in there in Kaysen Davis, and he made a quick tackle, so a gain of only 1.
And Coach Shucker alluded to it, the 5-2 defense from Waldron. We saw it right there, and it worked pretty well in stopping the run.
Pass to the right side. That's complete, but a short gain. Well played defensively. That's Hughes on the catch. The tackle was made by a senior who we expect to see at quarterback, Matthew Briggins. And that's a good tackle. So it's third down coming. Arkadelphia just short of the 40-yard line of Waldron, and they'll need 4 more yards. On third down, the Badgers will roll out and look to pass. Here's the throw into the flat. It's complete to the 30 and a first down. This is Trip Campbell to the 25-20 to the 15, out of bounds near the 10-yard line.
Great route running there from Campbell, able to turn back to the ball perfectly in time, and some nice footwork to extend the play that time, made a nice spin, and was able to get away from the defender for some extra yards, and that's going to be good enough for a Welch Funeral Home first down.
Babb and Campbell to the left side. To the right side, Hughes and Bailey. Quarterback is Whitten. Running back is Reed. Whitten wants to throw to the corner of their end zone. He gets it to his man, Campbell. Touchdown, Arkadelphia.
No better way to start out senior night, a senior-to-senior connection from Donovan Whitten to Trip Campbell. And Trip Campbell maybe having a bit of a quieter season than usual, but he's been a crucial part of this Arkadelphia wide receiver core over the year. Great moment for him to open up the game.
So Arkadelphia came up with a couple of Farm Bureau, a couple of Welch Funeral Home first downs, and then a Farm Bureau touchdown on its first drive. Set for the extra point attempt is Brock Curry. The senior left-footed kicker is ready for action. Babb gets a good hold down. The kick was partially blocked, but it went through anyway. It's good. Arkadelphia 7, Waldron 0, 10:26 left. We're in the opening quarter tonight, brought to you by Taylor King Law, and we'll be back after this word from our sponsor.
At Southern Bancorp, we are wealth builders for everyone. We see building wealth as helping people succeed in creating strong financial futures. For some, it's having tools to build credit and buy a first home. For others, working with our award-winning SBA team to launch or grow a small business. And still others might use our unique savings plan today to save for tomorrow's dreams. Wherever you are in your wealth building journey, Southern Bancorp can help. Stop by or visit banksouthern.com to get started. Southern Bancorp, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Touchdown for Arkadelphia on its first drive, and we're just about set for a Price and Company kickoff. Chase, it was an impressive drive.
And really, just from the get-go, Arkadelphia setting the tempo with the run. Waldron did a good job of covering the run, but at the same time, that opened up some opportunities in the passing game. Really, the story there, the connections between Trip Campbell and Donovan Witten. Witten finding Campbell for a long game that set up the 10-yard touchdown pass that capped off the solid drive.
Arkadelphia set to kick off behind Brock Curry, who's done a fine job kicking this year. The senior has really come along, left-footed kicker. Done a super job on extra points and on kickoffs. And he's set for the kick. He enjoyed senior night tonight. We have lost our camera here momentarily, but we believe that you have sound, so we'll keep going here and see if we can get the camera operating. There's some electricity problems up on the roof. There's a kick return by Waldron. He'll be knocked out of bounds short of the 20-yard line, so it's first down and 10. And now the picture is back. Thank you for the good work, Coleman Callan. You're going to see a crawl line at the top of the screen, and it just indicates this. We want to hear from you tonight. So if you are watching this, pay attention to that crawl line. We're going to give you a number for you to text, and we want to tell everybody who you are and where you are from. Are you a relative of a player? Are you a former Badger yourself? Tell us where you are and where you're from, and we'll mention that on the air. Here is a pass, nice pass across the middle, a gain of 9, close to 10 yards. There was a very fine throw and a catch by Levi Brown.
I expect to see Waldron running the spread. We saw them running a lot of passing plays in warm-ups. Just solid execution that time, able to pick up some good yardage, and in fact, it'll be good enough for a first down.
So our camera is holding right now. We're having a little work done on that. Camera and battery operated right now because electricity stopped working on top of the press box. Here's a pass to the flat, another good throw, a catch, and a short gain. They'll tackle him with a game tackle on the far sideline, but that's a good gain on first down. So Waldron comes out throwing, make a couple of nice passes and nice catches.
And thus far, the game plan working fairly well. Not necessarily home run balls or anything, but you're going with those small yet effective passes, and that seems to have worked so far for the Bulldogs. They've already got one first down under their belt and looking to get another right here.
About the 34-yard line, second down, and they're going to need 4 yards for a first. Couple of nice passes from the quarterback, Briggins. He'll roll out. The senior looks downfield. He'll throw short. That's a completion. I don't think, unless he gets an awfully good spot, that's a first down. I think he's a yard short. They're going to spot it, in fact, right at a yard short, maybe a little bit more than a yard, where they'll spot the ball down just short of the 38 or 37-yard line, closer to the 36. So they'll need about a yard and a half. Third down for the Waldron. And they're going to move forward. It's just very close. Some pushing and shoving, just depends on the spot, but I think he might just maybe be a little bit short. Let's see. Where are they going to spot it? Will they measure? Let's see. No, they're going to call the first down without a measurement. First down without a measurement. I want to say hello to Brian Bagwell and family watching from Branson, Missouri. Got a lot of things to do in Branson. We're glad you're with us. Going to bring you some more names. They're starting to come in already. On first down, rolling out is Briggins. He'll throw a short pass and miss his target, this time incomplete. Oh, it's coming in now. Rusty Morris is here. He's from the class of 1980. Living in North Little Rock. Go Badgers, he says. Arkadelphia up 7-0 right now. Alicia Thomas Nelson is called in. She's currently watching from Round Rock, Texas. She's the aunt of Jelias Solomon. Lots more names coming your way. Whitney Buckley Williams watching from here in Arkadelphia, alumnus of 2005. We are glad you have joined us. Carlos Haney is watching. He's a former Badger, two-time state champion. We're going to roll to the left side. They're going to hit him in the backfield, loss of 1 on the play. Now they're starting to call me. I can't talk to you right now. I can only read your text. Thank you, though. It's 3rd down and about 11.5 for Waldron. Arkadelphia leading 7-0 here early in the game. Centera is watching from Seattle, Washington. Very nice. From Seattle. Glad you're tuning in. Back to pass. Brigance is looking deep. He's got some time to throw. He'll pitch it out to a receiver who catches it and makes a nice run to the 50. That is a first down. Good play by Waldron. Coming up with that catch, and the run after the catch was Peyton Lippum.
I don't know if that play went by design for the Bulldogs, but great improvisation there. Great job by the wideout, able to haul in a ball that wasn't easy to haul in at all, especially in stride. But the wideout able to do just that, and it's good enough for a Waldron first down. Bulldogs making their way down the field now.
Impressive from the 50-yard line. Shotgun formation. Brigance looking downfield. He wants to throw deep. Now he'll throw to the sideline and throw it out of bounds and incomplete. 2nd down and 10. We have a colonel watching. Retired Colonel Vernon Davis, U.S. Army, Badgers class of 87, watching from Fort Knox, Kentucky. Glad that you are with us as well. There's a holding call that's going to go against Waldron, and that's going to make this drive a little bit harder for Waldron tonight. Matt Conine is watching from Baton Rouge, class of 2007. Kerry Garnett is checking in from Petco Park in San Diego, where he is watching the Padres in the playoffs tonight. Kerry, we're glad that you are with us and glad that you sponsor these games. Alicia Thomas Nelson from Arkadelphia, I mentioned you. We're glad that you have joined us. Proud parents of 3 Badgers, senior, middle schooler, and elementary student watching here in Arkadelphia. Appreciate that. Didn't get a name with that text, but we're glad that you are watching anyway. Colby Bagwell is watching, 2016 grad. He is in Branson as well. Rush on the quarterback, and he is going to make some yardage, but not nearly enough. They're going to bring him down at the 40, still 10 yards short of the original line of scrimmage, and so, Chase, things are looking good for the Badger defense right now.
And the defensive front starting to get more pressure, but credit the quarterback that time, able to make something really out of nothing, and a good slide at the end of the play to avoid any further injury or potentially even a turnover, because we do know that this defensive front from Arkadelphia can issue some big hits and can knock the ball loose at any time.
A couple of you have texted in to mention that we're having a little bit of a problem with the picture and sound. We're aware of that and working on that. We're just glad we've got you a picture right now, because we had a few problems with the electrical outlets here, but we got it on battery now for the camera, and we hope we're going to be okay for a while. Here's a deep pass by Brigance. It is well overthrown and incomplete, and so it's now 3rd down from the 40-yard line. Kevin Belknap is listening, class of 87, living in Cabot. He says, thank you for the broadcast. We're glad that you are tuning in. Stephon Wilson, class of 08. He lives in Little Rock, and he's tuning in tonight. Watching from Arkadelphia, from Tia, class of 2014, and Buster Thomas, class of 2020. Glad you guys are watching. There's a name I remember from school, Clay Todd, class of 78. Remember the 76 state runner-up team he's watching, and he wants the guys to continue to nail it. Go Badgers. Back to pass is Brigance. He's backing up. He's throwing to the sideline. He's throwing incomplete. It's 4th down, and Waldron, after a couple of good first downs, Chase, they're going to have to give up the ball. The Badgers are going to have it back.
And just a great defensive effort that time all around from the Badgers, both on the defensive front and in the secondary. A couple plays ago, we saw Antonio Hughes make a great play on a ball, almost got the interception. It's probably closer to the ball than the wideout, and that time there was a swarm of Badgers on this near side they were all right there at the ball. But overall, just a great series for Arkadelphia after the Bulldogs look to be getting some momentum.
The Badgers have worked on catching punts. They send 2 men deep to try to do just that. This kick is going to go to a Badger. He's going to retrieve it. He's going to run it back from the 35 to the 40, down the sideline to the 45 near midfield. Very nice return for Arkadelphia. On the return for the Badgers was Purifoy. Had to watch carefully to make sure I didn't get my Hughes and my Purifoy mixed up. They are similar when they are running the football.
They have very similar playing styles, and something that you see in Purifoy that you've seen in Hughes for a long time is just that field vision. We saw that on the opening kick return from Hughes. That time, Purifoy showing off his field vision, and you could tell that he was wanting to break away for a longer gain. Still a really solid return there that gets the Badgers up to midfield.
3 receivers, top of the screen. Bottom of the screen is Trip Campbell. He's one of those seniors that was honored. Top of the screen, you've got Babb, Hughes, and Bailey. Witten at quarterback. His running back only a sophomore. That's Kyle Yeah, Kyle Reed is in. Buckley might play some tonight, too. He's been injured. Here's a running play. They're going to get about 10 yards. 10 yards on first down. That's not a bad average.
That's going to be good enough for a Welch Funeral Home first down. Kyle Reed's been making some big plays for the Badgers over the last several games, at least 2 touchdowns in each of his last 3 outings, and he's got 8 total in that span.
Okay, we've got a good number of people texting in. We're going to bring you these names as best we can. We've got to bring you the football game first and foremost. There is a flag down that's going to go against Arkadelphia. That's kind of a surprise, as Arkadelphia is going to pick up a holding call. That's going to move them back from the original line of scrimmage, so they've got some work to do now. But we got plenty of time to keep you up to date on who all is tuning in. Heath White is tuning in. He's a 98 grad. His nephew Bradley Curtis played just here recently. Leanne Sander for Strickland, watching from Fayetteville, Arkansas. Go Badgers. 1981 graduate. Here's a pass to the flat, catch by Babb. Babb to the 45, good spin move to the 15, he might go. He's to the 41 man to beat, he beats him. To the 20, to the 15, to the 10, to the 5. Carter Babb in the end zone, touchdown Arkadelphia.
How about that? 2 touchdowns, 2 senior-to-senior connections. Nice pass there from Witten, but it was all Carter Babb down the stretch. Excellent footwork, able to stay on his feet. And not only that, stay balanced and stay inside the line to run all the way down the sideline in for the score. One of the most impressive plays of Babb's career.
It was a great, great move to make that last defender miss. Really, really impressive. Now he'll hold for the extra point. Brock Curry on to kick. Kick up, and kick is good. For all of you guys in school in the late 1970s, that is Brett Curry's son that just made that extra point. It's 14-0. Arkadelphia, 5:45 left. We're in the first quarter tonight, and we'll be back with more after this.
Hey, I didn't order any pizza.
Jake from State Farm. After you saved me so much dough on insurance with that Parker promo, I devised a promo for you.
Here's the deal, Parker. State Farm offers everyone surprisingly great rates.
Right. Pepperoni pockets, cuckoo crusties.
There's no promo, it's just great rates.
And a cider ranch.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Austin Wingfield in Arkadelphia today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Got some good folks from Mississippi tuning in tonight. Al and Joni McGough, grandparents of cheerleaders Caitlin and Hallie. They're watching from Mississippi. We've had folks all over the country and right here in Arkadelphia listening tonight. Got a lot more coming for you, and the Badgers are off to a good start. Arkadelphia has 2 Farm Bureau touchdowns, and the Badgers lead at 14-0, 5:45 left. We're in the opening quarter tonight. BK Bad Kid Robertson, class of 1980, watching from the banks of Lake DeGray tonight. Go Badgers, he says. Stay out of trouble. All right, kick out of bounds. Good man. Mario Owens is watching, Arkadelphia class from 2001. Watching from Little Rock, Clay Todd. I mentioned Clay. Glad he is tuned in. Benton Fairchild, older brother of sophomore Braxton Fairchild. Shout out Cooper Stevenson, who broke his arm in a JV game on Monday. And Benton is a class of 21. So, Arkadelphia lines up defensively now from the 35-yard line since the ball slipped out of bounds on the kickoff. So, decent field position here for Waldron to get started on its second possession tonight. They made a couple of first downs on the first possession, reached midfield, and then went backwards. They're going to line up, this time under center. First time we've seen this. They're going to line up under center. Arkadelphia's defense comes to the line of scrimmage. They're going to try an option play, and it's going to get 1 yard. Well, now I think Arkadelphia says they took the ball away. Let's see if the officials agree.
They do.
I think they do.
Great job there by the Badgers, playing to the whistle, able to strip the ball free. And a costly turnover for the Bulldogs. They got some momentum on that last drive, were ultimately stalled out towards midfield, but really not even given a chance there as Arkadelphia strips it away on the first set of downs.
Bulldogs changed their offensive look, going under center, going to an option play, tried to get some extra yardage. The offensive lineman actually tried to kind of pick up the quarterback and move him, but the ball got loose and the Badgers have it. Arkadelphia sends its offense out. Bailey and Hughes, top of your screen. Bottom of the screen, you're going to see Campbell and Babb. The running back is Kyle Reed. We may see Buckley later. And offside's going to be called on Waldron. They tried to blitz a linebacker up the middle, and he got there too soon. Ball never was snapped, but going to be 5 easy ones. And it's first down and 5 for the Badgers.
Give Arkadelphia 1st and 5.
At the 32-yard line of Waldron, Arkadelphia sets up offensively. Witten, the outstanding quarterback, wants to pass. He looks deep downfield across the middle field. It is incomplete. It was there, and he couldn't tuck it in, and then struggling to tuck it in, he kind of dribbled it along his hands for a moment, but finally it got away, so it's incomplete. A touchdown waiting to happen, but the catch wasn't made, so it is 2nd down and 5. That is a pass we've seen Witten throw so well over and over again, the deep pass across the middle. 2nd down and 5 for the Badgers. They'll run this time. Here's Reed up the middle. He's got some room. He's hit. He'll fall forward. I believe he's going to have a 1st down.
Kyle Reed.
Strongest run of the night thus far for the Badgers. Still very early in this game, as the Bulldogs have done a good job of limiting the run through that 5-2 cover, but at the same time, we've seen some weaknesses downfield that plays to Arkadelphia's strengths in the passing game.
Arkadelphia wants to pass. Witten looking deep downfield. Another deep pass across the middle, and this one is incomplete. A little bit high. Receiver got his hands on it, couldn't pull it in, so it's incomplete.
Well, Antonio Hughes has done a really good job of getting some separation, and he's had some good setups up to this point. Hasn't been able to capitalize thus far, but we know it's only a matter of time before that hookup ends up happening. And what a moment that would be.
The running game's,
touchdowns, 3 seniors.
You're exactly right, Chase. The running game's been strong, so they can throw anytime they want to. Here's a pass to the flat, and it's intercepted. It looked like a receiver went deep. He was thinking it would be a short pass, and so Brigance stepped up and made the catch. So Arkadelphia suffers from surprising turnover. 1st down and 10 for Waldron. Arkadelphia leads it 14-0. It absolutely looked like it was about to be 21-0, but you got to give some kudos to the secondary, and Brigance, the quarterback playing safety, was able to see that coming and step up and make the catch from the 18-yard line. 1st down for the Bulldogs.
And you know that's got to feel extra sweet for Brigance, because as a quarterback himself, you know, I'm sure he's been on the other side of that. You don't usually get to get revenge in your own sort of way on the defensive side of the ball, so a neat moment there for him.
Handoff right up the middle. There is some yardage. They're going to get yardage, maybe 5, maybe 6, depending on the spot, right up the middle on a quick handoff. This time they've gone back to the spread formation on the shotgun. Ricky Arnold Jr., class of 2001, is watching from Seattle, Washington. Glad that you are tuned in. Davian Smith, class of 1998, watching from Tulsa, Oklahoma, faithfully every Friday night, he says. Badger Pride. Thank you, Mr. Smith. We appreciate you. Melba White says, let's go Badgers, class of 1986. Shotgun formation with 2 running backs. They're going to run a little option from here and make a 1st down. Good to run right up the middle. Some yardage for one of the bigger backs, Kason Davis. He's only a sophomore, and he makes a nice run for a 1st down. Waldron's had a few 1st downs. They've not been able to pose a scoring threat yet.
And on that first drive, the Bulldogs had 3 separate 1st downs and were able to get up near midfield, but unfortunately for them, some penalties set them back a ways, and then really unable to regain the momentum after that. But Waldron has been able to move the ball successfully at times. We'll see if they can maybe sustain some of that momentum and put a drive together here.
Brigance wants to run this time, and he will not get yardage.
A lot of Badgers in on that play. Looked like K.D. Young was one of the first men to get to him that time, but he had some help from friends. Just a really solid coverage that time, really giving quarterback no room up the middle to try and do anything.
Keisha Hayes,
loss of 1.
I'm sorry, Chase. Keisha Hayes, 2005 Arkadelphia High School graduate. She's the aunt of Latonio Hughes. She's watching from Seattle, Washington also. We got a big crowd of people watching from Seattle.
Great crowd from the Emerald City.
Who knew? Here's a running play and good yardage. This is that same sophomore making a nice run. That is Kason Davis. He looks like he's going to be a major factor for the future of Waldron. Waldron football from the 39-yard line. It's a 1st down. A couple of 1st downs on this drive for the Bulldogs. Jerron Dixon is watching tonight along with Alexandria Buckley, classes 2013 and 2015. They're watching at work. I hope that's going well. There's a running play, going to be a loss of 1. Arkadelphia defends it very, very well here on 1st down, 2nd down and 11.
Well, we want to shout out as many seniors as we can, and one of the first guys to get to the ball carrier that time was Max Wilson. Wilson's been such a factor up front in the trenches for Arkadelphia over the last several years, and again continuing that leadership this year.
Speaking of playing in the trenches, Scott Necessary, starting offensive tackle from 1978 and 79, is watching from Malvern tonight. On 2nd and 11, Waldron sets up. 2 running backs in the formation, shotgun. He wants to pass. He'll throw across the middle. It's tipped and incomplete, and then almost caught on the tip, but incomplete as it falls to the turf. Keegan Lynch was the intended receiver.
But how about the coverage that time from Nick Williams? Almost got the INT that time, unable to come up with it. It was a good second effort by the wide receiver that time, almost able to corral it off the tip, but it does fall to the ground, and now the Bulldogs facing 3rd and long.
3rd down, 11 yards to go. Waldron at its own 38-yard line. Shotgun formation with a couple of running backs. They're going to run an option out of it. The quarterback's going to keep it, but Briggins has no chance to get near a first down. He's going to pick up 3, maybe 4 on the play, but it's 4th down and long. Linda Gully, Arkadelphia god-grandma of Latonio Hughes, graduate of the class of 1983. She says hello. She is watching tonight. Darian Beard, we called out that name a few times, class of 22 here in Arkadelphia.
42-yard line, 4th down,
Vance Walker, class of 1982, watching from West Little Rock. He says thank you for the ability to see the game. You are welcome, Vance. Glad that you're watching tonight, old friend. 4th down, Arkadelphia in the shotgun. Waldron is. 2 running backs, but they're going to block. Briggins will throw it. He'll throw it short. I think that was trapped. Let's see if the officials agree. It is incomplete. Arkadelphia will take over, 1st down and 10.
Was incomplete, and so the ball goes.
So we'll see if Arkadelphia can take advantage of the good field position here. You got to respect Waldron, though, for that play call right there. They have confidence in their defense, willing to go for it on their own side of the field early in the ballgame, trying to make a statement. Just didn't work out that time for Waldron.
With 1:31 left to play in the 1st quarter.
All right, I got a nice note saying, hey, your sound is working just fine. It was my computer. So we're glad. We're glad it got fixed back home. And we're glad we have a picture. A few electricity problems tonight here in the press box. But, hey, we got good people, and they got us back up and running very, very quickly. Bailey sets up, and he's on the top of your screen. But checking out running back is Buckley. Ooh, and they're going to throw a flag before Buckley can receive that handoff, I think.
Flag on the play. A dead ball foul.
Alvernon Rogers, a retired Arkansas State Trooper, class of 72, is watching tonight. He says go Badgers. Tiffany Hill is watching from Arkadelphia, proud parent of Lady Badger Madison Hill and 7th grader Anthony Hill. We are glad you are tuned in. Arkadelphia has 1st and 15 now, and they'll start from the Waldron 47-yard line. Donovan Whitten at quarterback wants to throw. He looks to the right side. He's got an open receiver just overthrown. Had a little seam there between the cornerback and the safety. Couldn't quite fit it in.
And Arkadelphia has had a couple of miscommunications early in the game in passing. Looks pretty good to start, but really Waldron applying enough pressure here to force some errant passes. We'll see if Arkadelphia can recover.
2nd and 15. Whitten looks downfield again. He'll throw it to the sideline. This is wide open. A completion to the 36, to the 30, to the 29. That is a Welch Funeral Home 1st down.
And sometimes that's all it takes is a nice, simple pass play. That time, Evan Bailey runs a crisp route, comes back to the ball, able to carry it forward for a few extra yards. And as you mentioned, Jeff, good enough for a Welch Funeral Home 1st down. We'll see if the Badgers can carry the momentum.
They'll throw it into the flat. Here's Latonio Hughes. He's dangerous with the football. He's inside the 20, 15, breaks the tackle inside the 10, and finally goes down. It's 1st and goal for Arkadelphia.
Just again, a simple route there run by the Badgers. But again, the wide receiver making something happen. At the end of the play, Latonio Hughes has such great field vision and footwork that he's able to make something out of nothing. And that time, some good coverage, but we've got a penalty flag down prior to the snap. Never mind, it's actually a timeout.
So a timeout for Waldron, and they're going to need to regroup on defense, and so we will take a break also. 1:01 left. We're in the 1st quarter tonight. Arkadelphia leads it 14-0, and the Badgers are driving. We'll see if they score when we come back.
Under perfect conditions, your car traveling at 65 miles per hour can stop in about 300 feet. That's the length of a football field.
But a fully loaded tractor trailer, one that weighs 80,000 pounds, will take 2 football fields to stop. And that's if the driver is rested, paying attention, and the truck and load is properly maintained.
If you're in an accident with a big truck, call 1-800-CAR-WRECK.
Get the experienced team that's going to be on your side, by your side.
David Avington is watching from Little Rock tonight, class of 1999. We're glad that you are tuned in. Wyatt Hill, class of 2022, says go Badgers from Fort Lee, Virginia. Fort Lee, Virginia calling in tonight. Grant Tuggle watching from Bryant, class of 2012. He says go Badgers. We agree with you. Rashonda Harper is in the concession stand tonight. She's a class of 95. I guess they got us tuned in the concession stand. And is she on the visitor side concessions? Well, good. We're glad you're tuned in. And she says hi to all the Harpers. Go Badgers. Don Collins, quarterback from 1966, is calling in tonight. We are glad that you are tuned in, Mr. Collins. Sure that you had a good passing arm in 66. And speaking of good arms, Whitten with the football. Looks to the sideline, throws to the end zone, high in the air. That's a catch. That's a touchdown. Arkadelphia on the board again.
Trip Campbell with his second receiving touchdown of the night. Beautiful job there to leap over the defender. It was good coverage from the Bulldogs. But Campbell able to adjust, use some of that veteran prowess, and Arkadelphia has its third touchdown of the first quarter, third touchdown of the quarter as well for Donovan Whitten.
Farm Bureau touchdowns coming left and right here as Arkadelphia now has a 3-touchdown lead, and we're just nearing the end of the first quarter. Brock Curry on for the kick. His kick is up. His kick is good. And it's Arkadelphia 21, Waldron 0. 55 seconds left in the opening quarter tonight. We'll be back with more Badger football after this.
Price & Company Insurance is the area's only trusted choice independent insurance agency. What is that, you might ask? An independent insurance agency works for you, the customer, and not the insurance companies. So the next time you're shopping for home, auto, business, life, or health insurance, we invite you to experience an unprecedented level of customer service and expertise. Call or click for a quote today.
The Taylor King Law first quarter has been a good one for the Badgers. Arkadelphia leading 21-0 over Waldron. 2 touchdowns for Trip Campbell and a touchdown for Carter Babb, and 100 and how many yards? 160 yards passing for Whitten here in a quarter of play. Xavier Arnold from 2011 class is called in from Seattle. They got to form a Badger club in Seattle. Lots of Seattle people calling in tonight. Here is a kick. We trust them. They're from Seattle, I'm sure. There's a run back to the 15-yard line. Ooh, a broken tackle, and he's off to the races, to the 40. He's at the 50. Brock Campbell hits him and brings him down. Good tackle by Campbell to save a touchdown.
Brock Curry that time was the only man standing in the way of a touchdown as the returner had nothing but green grass in front of him, but great job there by the kicker taking matters into his own hands and making the open field tackle.
Oh, I graduated with his daddy, and he's going to be mad. I called him by the wrong name. That was Curry, not Campbell, on that tackle. Brock Curry with the big play. From the 42-yard line of Arkadelphia, first down and 10 for Waldron. They've made some first downs tonight, so now with this good field position, we'll see if Waldron can put together a scoring drive or if this Arkadelphia defense can keep it shut out. Oh, a fumble on the first handoff, and they're going to lose yardage back to the Arkadelphia 45-yard line.
Miscommunication there to start out the drive. And, Jeff, it's worth noting this is also the first time that the Bulldogs have been on the Badger side of the field all night long. They had some nice drives, including a drive with 3 first downs, but they haven't stayed on Arkadelphia's side of the field at any point in tonight's game.
Some good plays for Waldron, but they've just made too many mistakes. A turnover, a couple of plays where they just had nowhere to go. So we'll see what they'll do now. It is 2nd and 13. Going to be a running play. They'll go to the left. He'll struggle to get back to the line of scrimmage, and it's 3rd down, and they still need 13. And that is going to be the end of the first quarter. After 1 quarter of play tonight, Arkadelphia 21, Waldron 0. We'll be back with second quarter action after this.
At Eccles, Thompson, and Kneebone CPA, we seek to provide accounting, tax, and financial planning services to individuals and small businesses with proficiency and integrity. Serving Arkadelphia since 1977, our staff looks forward to meeting your financial goals of today and also becoming your financial advocate for life. Visit us at 205 North 25th Street or call 246-8991 today. Eccles, Thompson, and Kneebone Ltd. says go Badgers.
As a family-owned sporting goods supplier since 1950, Southwest Sporting Goods understands the value of customer service and is committed to providing the best quality customer service and merchandise available. Southwest Sporting Goods is located in Arkadelphia, but also has salesmen that cover the entire state of Arkansas to help ensure that their customers will receive the best customer service and pricing that can be found. Southwest Sporting Goods, located in downtown Arkadelphia, supporting the Badgers since 1950.
Back to the action in the second quarter tonight. Our sponsor for the second quarter is Turner, Rogers, Manning, and Plyler. Waldron faces a third down and really closer to 14 after that loss of one on a running play on second down and a loss on first down as well. So they are going backwards right now after reaching the Arkadelphia 42-yard line. They need a big play. Brigance rolls out to his right under a lot of pressure. He throws a completion, but it's not nearly enough for a first down. In fact, the tackle is made immediately. It's a gain, but it's going to be fourth down and about 9. On the catch was the sophomore Keegan Lynch.
And really nothing the Bulldogs could do right there. Excellent coverage by the Badgers. Excellent pressure getting into the backfield at first. Probably Waldron with the field flipping with the start of the new quarter, wanting to flip the script a little bit and tried to set up something there to the outside, but Arkadelphia again with excellent coverage following the great pressure and really nowhere to go, but still Waldron going to try to make a statement here with a fourth down conversion.
Yeah, there is no reason to punt from the 41-yard line of Arkadelphia, so they'll go for it on 4th and 9. Badgers looking for a short pass, went across the middle. That's complete, and I think he's going to have it. What a nice pass across the middle of the field, an immediate tackle. But good work by Waldron for a first down on the catch, Montana Wesley.
And Wesley ran a great route across the middle. We talked about Donovan Witten doing so well at finding the open man down the middle of the field like that. Well, how about his opponent tonight, Brigance, doing that right there, picking up the first down for Waldron and extending the drive. Really good chance here for the Bulldogs as they're up to the Badger 30-yard line for the first time tonight.
Brigance looks over his crew here. He's gone under center a couple of times, but in the shotgun consistently now. They run the spread. Pass is deep. The quarterback is hit as he throws it. That ball is intercepted at the goal line. What a beautiful interception at the goal line. They're going to make it a touchback, and the Badgers will have football right back.
And that's Kelber Middleton making the play, his 4th interception of the campaign. And a great job there by Middleton, able to get his foot down in bounds, as that was going to be a tough play. Almost went out of bounds as the quarterback there was rocked. Brigance took a hard hit as he threw that ball. Probably caused it to go offline quite a bit, but Middleton doing a great job of keeping his feet in, coming down with the football. And now Arkadelphia is going to get the ball at their own 20-yard line.
Smitty, the class of '89, says the Badgers will not be denied this season. And they look like that was true, certainly on that play. John Butler, class of '96, is watching from right here in Arkadelphia. Glad that you are tuned in. Badgers line up offensively. They've got 2 receivers top of the screen, 2 to the bottom of the screen. Whitten at quarterback. He is going to fake a handoff. He wants to throw. He's got a receiver deep. He's under pressure, though. He's got to escape that pressure. And now he's going to run. There's some yardage up to the 20-25-yard line. Whitten goes down at the 26-yard line, but a pickup of 6 on a scramble.
That time Whitten showing great composure as Waldron gets its best pressure of the night, but still Whitten able to resist and make something out of nothing.
Purifoy has checked into the game. He's going to block as they'll throw it out to Babb. Babb will have a first down and more out to the 35. They'll knock him out of bounds at the 37-yard line, maybe the 38. First down and 10 Badgers.
Nice route running again by Babb and a nice run after catch to get the Welch Funeral Home first down. Babb becoming a bigger and bigger part of this wide receiving core as the season goes along.
Absolutely, and there's an offsides play. They're going to have a free play. They'll throw it deep. Arkadelphia will not get the completion. Surely there's a flag down. Is there not a flag down? The defender was past the offensive line when the ball was snapped. Am I seeing things, Chase, or did you see what I saw?
That's what I saw as well, and I believe the Badgers are confused as well. As the official even had some momentary confusion, but this time they're not going to get away with it.
Well, it worked once. We'll try it again. No, it didn't work this time. That's going to be 5 yards, and it's second down and 5. Well, you can tell they want to put pressure on Whitten. They're running a defender right up the middle. but he got there too soon. They've tried that a couple of times, been offside a couple of times. First down, or second down, I should say, and 5 yards to go. Here's a pass to the flat. That's a completion. Running after the catch, yardage up to the 45-yard line of Waldron. Arkadelphia on the move again. I believe that's Purifoy that time.
It was Purifoy, and again, Arkadelphia making the simple plays here. Nice short routes, and that time, again, it's good enough for a Welch Funeral Home first down.
From the 45, the Badgers set up offensively. Looking downfield is Whitney. He's going to throw a deep pass down the sideline to Hughes. Hughes at the 2. Touchdown Arkadelphia on a beautiful deep pass.
Well, you know what they say, third time's the charm, and there were a couple opportunities for Hughes earlier in the game. It just didn't work out, a little bit of miscommunication. No miscommunication that time. Beautiful deep ball by Whitney and a great route by Hughes, winning the foot race there in coverage. And how about that? 4 touchdown passes from Donovan Whitten here in the first half, and all 4 of them are to seniors.
I'll tell you what, that is what we used to call in the backyard a bomb. Let me throw the bomb. Long and high and dropped into his receiver's arms at the 2-yard line. Brock Curry is set. We're about to get a yardage total from Jim Rothwell. Kick is up. Line drive shot goes right through the uprights. It is good. Arkadelphia has a 28-0 lead. Jim, how are we looking? 11 for 15. 226 yards passing. And, folks, we're in the second quarter with 9:38 left before we go to the halftime festivities. We're going to keep it right here and give you a few more names right now. This is a great night for the Badgers and a great night for us to hear from people. Mason and Darnisha Green are watching from Virginia. They are from classes of 97 and 98. Craig Daniel, class of 2011, is watching from Centerville, Virginia, with his father Keith Daniel, class of 70, and his mother Gina Daniel, class of 75. Fantastic. Go Badgers from the Hurkamps, classes of 2014, 16, and 19. They are on their way to Ole Miss, I hear. Just be careful driving while you watch the game. Aaron Hill, class of 89, is watching from home. Good deal. Arkadelphia getting set for the kickoff. I'm going to bring you one more. And that is coming from Mario Brownlee, watching from Houston. His son, Michael Brownlee, is in the game. He's been playing tonight, Mario. We're glad that you are tuned in. High kickoff. It's returnable, but a really fine kick, allowed to bounce, picked up inside the 10-yard line. It is returned to the 12, and the young man that had a good return on his last attempt has nowhere to go this time. That was Peyton Lippum.
And that's more of the kick coverage that we've been accustomed to for the Badgers all season long. More often than not, Arkadelphia pinning back the opponent within their own 20-yard line. That's the case right here. Excellent kickoff coverage from the Badgers. And now Waldron's going to have quite a ways to go. I believe they've got 82 yards here to get to the end zone.
Hugh Janis is watching tonight, and Hugh is from the class of 69. Glad that you are tuned in tonight to this game. Ball at the 18-yard line, so Waldron sets up offensively. Shotgun formation, but running backs to the left and right of the quarterback. Run to the right side, not much of anywhere to go. The Badgers gain tackle, and he will be lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Number 35 takes the handoff. That's Logan Young. Young picks up.
All right, Waldron's in no hurry, so I'm going to bring you another name. Jeff Necessary, brother of Scott, who just texted a few minutes ago. Jeff's from 78, and he says, go Badgers. He is from Wilmington, North Carolina, calling in tonight from North Carolina. About time to get these East Coast folks. The Seattle crowd was getting big, but now the East Coast is calling in. That's good. 2nd and 9, got 1 yard on that play. Now they'll throw the ball across the middle, incomplete. Well-designed play, but, Chase, they couldn't complete it to Levi Brown.
And really, right there, it was tough to tell because it looked like they were going for an option read at first, but maybe a little bit of an RPO there as there was a man across the middle. And it was a pretty good ball from Briggins, but it was just outside the reach of Brown. Arkadelphia able to apply enough pressure. Now, again, Waldron facing 3rd and long.
3rd down and long. I got a nice long message from John Francis. John, I'm going to read it here in a moment. We have not forgotten you, I promise. 3rd down, 9 yards to go. Briggins looks to the sideline. I think he might just decide to call timeout, and he will. 3rd down and 9. Well, he says, "Hi, guys. I'm watching from Curtis. John Francis, former Badger player. I was on the 1995 3A Southwest Conference Championship team." And he wants to tell us who he played with, but he didn't want to embarrass them or anything like that. So he just says, "Go Badgers." And he is glad to be listening and watching tonight. And then he sent us pictures of his championship ring. And, well, we don't have a camera right here in the press box where we are, so we can't show you that picture except to say that's a beautiful ring, and I'm glad that John is proud of it and has it nearby. Michael Benson, class of 2004, has called in as well. And let's see, we've got one more to bring you before we get back to action, and that is Blake Moody Sr., class of 2003, tuning in from Atlanta, Georgia, father of Blake Moody Jr., a 9th grade running back for Arkadelphia this year. Dewanis Banks is watching from Alexander, Arkansas, class of 1993. All right. Waldron in no big hurry, so I'm going to give you another name or two. Charnelay Marshall, class of 2001, watching from home. I believe we called some football and basketball that he was involved in. Scott Jones, class of 96, is watching from Hot Springs tonight. Scott, we're glad you're watching. Jay Cooper is watching tonight, class of 89 in Arkadelphia. Jay, of course, has a famous mother in Mary Jane Cooper, and I bet about 95% of you had her for a history class when you were at Arkadelphia High. More names to bring you after this play. Waldron getting set for a 3rd down and 9. Arkadelphia showing a blitz, now backing up. Quarterback wants to run. He will throw a pass, and it's incomplete. It is an incomplete pass, and it's 4th down and 9. Sarah Strickland is watching tonight, class of 1954. She says, "Go Badgers."
4th down and 9 for the Bulldogs.
Well, we are having fun tonight with you folks who are sending in your names and where you're watching from. And Arkadelphia's having fun on the football field as Chase. It looks like Waldron has decided to punt the ball away. The Badgers are going to get it back, already leading 28-0. We might see this be a good sportsmanship rule game by halftime. Braxton Wesley is on to do the kicking. Ooh, they went after that kick, didn't quite get there. It's going to be allowed to roll past the 40 and 45 near midfield across the 50, and it's going to roll dead at the Arkadelphia 48-yard line, but 52 yards away from taking a 5-touchdown lead.
And Arkadelphia has had no problem moving the ball down the field, especially through the air. Donovan Witten, the story of the game thus far, doesn't get much better for the senior quarterback on senior night. Well over 200 yards here. Not even midway through the second quarter yet, not to mention 4 passing touchdowns. All 4 of them to seniors, I might add. And really, Arkadelphia doing a great job on capitalizing on the defensive set. We've continued to see that 5-2 set from the Bulldogs, despite the success that Arkadelphia's had through the air. We'll see if they make any adjustments moving forward.
So the Badgers are 52 yards away from having a 35-0 lead. If they have that lead at halftime, it'll be a running clock in the second half. Here's a pass to the sideline, a completion up to the 42, and brought down there is Hughes, but he makes a nice catch, a little bit of a run after the catch. That should be enough for a first down. Arkadelphia moving the ball already with another first down, brought to you by Welch Funeral Home.
Leading the defense on that play was
41-yard line, first down and 10. Witten lines up. 3 receivers top of the screen. And they want to pass again. Witten, under pressure, is hit. He escapes that tackle. He wants to run. He's going to make some yardage. He crosses the 40 to the 35 to the 30 to the 25 and steps out of bounds. Beautiful job by Witten. He got away from pressure and got yardage.
And Waldron's got to be frustrated right now as they've gotten to Witten a couple of times, but he's been able to shake off the sack attempts. That time able to turn into a Welch Funeral Home first down, and a good one at that, as the Badgers are knocking on the door of the red zone.
Witten lines up. Buckley is his running back. He's back after missing a couple of games. And now they're going to run with a delayed count, and 3 Waldron players are going to jump off sides. No reason to discuss that. They're going to mark off 5 pretty quickly, and it's going to be first down and 5 for Arkadelphia from the 19-yard line of Waldron. So they are in the red zone again. First down and 5. Would they throw to the end zone on 1st and 5? I would not be surprised. We'll see. Arkadelphia lines up. Here's the snap. They're going to hand it to Buckley. Buckley turns it upfield. He's got some yardage inside the 10, inside the 5. Buckley, touchdown!
Great run there from Buckley up the middle. Waldron committing to the pass that time, and that opened up an opportunity in the run game. Just a great job there by Buckley, being able to see right up the middle there. There was quite a bit of traffic down there in the middle of the field, but he kept adjusting. He bounced off of some contact there towards the end and able to bulldoze his way in for the score. Great effort there from a young man that we haven't gotten to see too much of in recent weeks, but he's making his presence felt here tonight.
Brock Curry on for the extra point attempt. Kick is up, and the kick is right through the uprights. It's Arkadelphia 35, Waldron 0, 7:50 left in the second quarter. What a game so far for the Badgers. A lot of fun for us to hear from you folks, and we're going to let you hear from our sponsors right now.
Locally owned and operated, Java Primo is the official coffee house of ArkadelphiaBadgerTV.com. At Java Primo, amazing coffee is just the beginning. In addition to coffee, drinks, and desserts, we also have wonderful options for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Shop our gift selection 24/7 online at javaprimo.com or visit us on Main Street in historic downtown Arkadelphia. Java Primo Coffee House, Cafe, and more says, Go Badgers!
Number 4.
Chad Dixon, class of 2004, says he is the best basketball player of all time at Arkadelphia High School. Chad, I am not going to argue with you. I'm not going to vote, though. Johnny Trey Banks, class of 96, watching from Alexander, Arkansas. We're glad that you are watching as well. We're getting more and more names. We're going to run the crawl line again here during the second quarter. The second half is going to go fast, but during the halftime, we're not going to run the crawl line. We want you to see the full screen to catch the entire Arkadelphia High School band and everything that goes on at halftime. Don't believe our crawl line has interfered with your picture of the football game tonight. Here is a kick that's going to go to the 7-yard line, returnable for Waldron. He's going to hit the far sideline and make some yardage. A lot of running, most of it sideways, but he does cross the 20, so it's a first down and 10 for the Bulldogs. They have made some first downs. They've not come close to scoring against Arkadelphia.
And really, we started to see the momentum slow down as it looks like Arkadelphia's defense starting to settle in here in front of the home crowd. You know, sometimes that adrenaline's rushing through and it's hard to settle into a game. Arkadelphia didn't have too much trouble with that, but the Bulldogs were able to capitalize on some momentum early, didn't turn it into points. Thus far, it's been an uphill battle for the Bulldogs here in the second half, trying to pick up those same first downs. We'll see what they draw up here, down by 35.
Quarterback has 2 blockers in. Now he's going to drop the handoff. He's going to keep the ball, but lose yardage back to the 20-yard line. The ball just popped up into the air. Waldron has done some good things tonight, but they have not been able to hang on to the ball sufficiently. A couple of big turnovers already. A long pass moments ago just hung up in the air too long, and Arkadelphia got there. But that ball was thrown under pressure because Arkadelphia has been able to get into the backfield on a regular basis. Waldron just about to set up shop here at its own 20-yard line. It is second down and 12 yards to go. Same formation. He's got 2 backs in the game with him. One will block. The other will go out for a pass. He'll throw the ball, and it's incomplete in and out of the hands of his intended receiver, who was Peyton Lippum.
Good job there again from Kelber Middleton, able to break up the pass. Again, Middleton, one of the leaders in the secondary. You see him talking things over with Nick Williams there at the top of your screen. Both of those young men, leaders in the secondary, both have come up with some crucial plays, including an interception or 2 already this season. Middleton leading the team with 4, including 1 here tonight.
Very important third down for Waldron here because they're in a mercy rule situation in the second half if they don't get on the board and cut into this 35-point Arkadelphia lead. But it's third down and long. They're going to run and not make much at all. He got back to the line of scrimmage, but it's going to be 4th and 13 from their own 20-yard line. I think they're going to have to give it right back to the Badgers.
A handoff to number 35 for the Bulldogs.
Waldron still looking to the sideline, waiting for any official indication as the offense is staying on the field right now. But now we're going to see the exchange as you start to see the special teams unit coming out. It would be a tough play here, facing 4th at about 12 at your own 20-yard line, down by 35. Don't want to make a costly mistake here that could cause even more damage.
Purifoy is deep to receive the kick along with Nick Williams. Pressure on the punter. He gets the kick away. It's returnable. Ooh, dropped. Now picked up and a return up to the 35. Now he's retreating to the 38. Now the ball flies loose again. Arkadelphia fights for the loose ball around the 35-yard line. Waldron says that they have it. Let's see who did pick it up. And it's Waldron. Waldron gets the ball on the Arkadelphia turnover. All right, Williams really trying very hard to make something dramatic happen, and it happened in the wrong direction for him, and now he's slow in getting up. Got to hope he's okay. Very important defensive back for Arkadelphia.
And you said it, Jeff. Williams is going to have to stay on the field here, but he's bent over like he's trying to catch his breath. I'm sure he's frustrated a bit, too. It's just a very unfortunate turn of events there. Lost the ball a couple of times, and unfortunately, when it popped out the second time, Waldron able to capitalize. Now the turnover margin even at 2 apiece.
On first down, they want to throw. Under pressure, they'll hit him as he passes, and the ball will bounce to his receiver incomplete. Almost a sack on the play. Well, Smitty, who we mentioned moments ago, wanted to make it known that he is Kevin Smith. And he also can sing like Marvin Gaye, he says. That's good to hear. Arkadelphia playing defense, 2nd down and 10 for Waldron, ball at the 30-yard line. I don't doubt that at all. Ball at the, I'm sorry, not the 30. They're huddling at the 30. Ball is just over the 35-yard line, but it's 2nd down and 10. Family of Coach Chris Kaiser watching from Benton tonight. Glad to hear that. Hearing from a lot of old Badgers tonight. That's great. Here's a run to the right side and a short gain. It's going to be 3rd down and long, and Waldron has seen a lot of 3rd down and long plays.
That's right, Jeff. And at the end of that play, just really excellent coverage. It looked like it was a combined effort there from the defensive line, as maybe some of the secondary and the linebackers as well. Nick Williams, we mentioned him. He was a little bit slow to get up, but he was in there on the tackle that time. And again, Waldron facing a tough situation here, 3rd and long, situation that they're accustomed to, and they've come through a few times in that scenario, but at the same time, Arkadelphia has made their fair share of stops as well.
3rd down, 9 yards to go. Brigance is a tough quarterback. He's taken a few big hits, but he's right back in there at quarterback. He's a senior for Waldron. Back to pass under a lot of pressure. He'll throw, and he'll throw a completion, juggling the ball and coming down with it. Well, this just depends on the spot. When did he get control of the ball? Looks like they're going to spot it at the 45-yard line, which would mean he's just maybe a half yard short. And it's 4th down coming. What an acrobatic play to pull it in by Levi Brown.
And again, that's why you play to the whistle. Excellent effort by Levi, able to stick with it despite the heavy coverage there from the Badgers secondary, and now facing a 4th and 1 situation and down by 35. It's likely that the offense is going to stay on the field here with a chance to grab some momentum here with a huge 4th and 1 play.
On 4th down, they have 1 running back in the game. Now they've got a late substitution, and they are lined up. They'll hand it. No, that's a fake, and the quarterback keeps it and makes no yardage. Can't get back to the line of scrimmage, much less get a yard, and they're going to turn it over on their own side of the 50-yard line. Arkadelphia's offense has it right back. Luke Terry, Jr., class of 2000, watching from home tonight. Lance Chief, Legan, Arkadelphia class of 81, says go Badgers. If I mispronounce your name, please pardon me. Glenda Arnold Barton, got that one right, class of 85, watching from her home tonight. We're glad that you are watching. Baron Hayward, I should say, says go Badgers, watching from Arkadelphia tonight. And from South Korea, Christian Baldus, class of 2011, says hello and go Badgers. We have our first international call, somebody watching from South Korea tonight. We are so glad that you're tuned in. We are watching the officials and players from both teams having a conversation. Now an official is going to have a conversation with the Arkadelphia head coach. So we'll see what the discussion is about. Arkadelphia seems to have possession of the ball. A missing shoe. They are searching for a missing shoe. They found the shoe. That's good news. Oh, it was the shoe for Brigance. He's got to play some cornerback now that he has played quarterback. He's switching to cornerback on defense. Arkadelphia has it 1st down and 10, 45-yard line of Waldron. Badgers lead it 35-0. In the 2nd quarter with 3:55 left before the half. Back to pass is Witten. Another pass down the middle, and that is complete. To the 25, to the 20, to the 15, to the 10. He'll break 2 tackles, fall forward. Oh, they're not going to quite give it to him. Down at the 1-yard line is Campbell.
Campbell just inches away there from a hat trick here in the first half. He already had 2 touchdowns, another huge gain there. It'll be a Welch Funeral Home first down, and we'll see what Arkadelphia draws up here. Alan Buckley is on the field here down at the 1-yard line. We'll see if they hand the ball off to the senior running back.
Buckley will get the ball. No, it's a fake, and Witten will walk into the end zone. That's a good fake. I thought the ball had been given to Buckley, but he pulled it back and walked into the end zone. Touchdown, Arkadelphia. The Badgers have another score.
And I think the crowd reaction tells the whole story there. There's almost a momentary lull there. Everybody thought that Buckley had the ball. Everybody was a little bit confused. It turned out Donovan Witten had it on a quarterback keeper. He just waltzed into the end zone that time for his 5th touchdown of the first half. What a night it's been for the senior, and now Arkadelphia firmly in command, looking to go up by a full 6 scores here.
He has passed for touchdowns. He has run for touchdown now. Brock Curry, extra point attempt is up, and he's nailed it again. He's perfect tonight. Arkadelphia 42, Waldron 0, 3:20 left. We're in the second quarter tonight, and we'll be back with more of this quarter sponsored by Turner, Rogers, Manning, and Plyler after this.
Turner, Rogers, Manning, and Plyler CPA is a longtime supporter of the Arkadelphia Public School District. Turner, Rogers, Manning, and Plyler has established a reputation for providing clients with outstanding services that include auditing, accounting, and tax and business consulting. Contact Turner, Rogers, Manning, and Plyler today at 870-246-4563 or by visiting them at 305 Professional Park Drive in Arkadelphia. Turner, Rogers, Manning, and Plyler says, "Go Badgers!"
David and Kirsten Sims are watching tonight, class of 2009, watching from home in Arkadelphia with their son and their newborn baby daughter. We are glad that is a child being raised on Badger football. Arkadelphia leads at 42-0 after the latest touchdown. Jay Freebolt, class of 1965, is watching from Caddo Drive, DeGray Lake. Jay, we are so glad that you are tuned in tonight. Hunter Wingfield, class of 2011, says go Badgers. Kenneth Scott, class of 76, is watching tonight. Here's the kickoff. It's going to be a line drive shot, returnable, but it's going to roll inside the 10, return from there to the 15 and out of bounds. His daughters are Tamika Scott, class of 2000, and Kenya Wilkes, class of 2001, and they all say that they still bleed Badger blue. And a lot of people are doing that. It's a huge crowd here tonight for senior night, Chase.
Great crowd on tap here at All Care Field, and was just the second true home game for the Badgers this season. And Arkadelphia giving the fans plenty to cheer about here tonight with 6 first-half touchdowns, 5 of those belonging to Donovan Witten. All four of his touchdown passes have gone to seniors. 2 to Trip Campbell, 1 to Carter Babb, and 1 to Latonio Hughes. And great defensive effort here. Badgers have the shutout going.
Riggins wants to throw deep. He'll throw short instead. He'll get it to his receiver who catches it on one knee. It's a gain, and a gain near a first down. Good pass from Briggins. When he has had time to throw, he's been able to throw on target, but Arkadelphia has put pressure on him all night long. Second and short coming. Terry Kirksey, class of 1975, is watching from Malvern tonight. Hello, Terry. Natalie Sheffield-Jones, class of 2001, is watching from Hot Springs. She says, go Badgers. Jeff Garner is watching. He's from Houston. Javian Garner's dad, he says, go Badgers. Javian may be playing quarterback in the second half. Here is a run by Briggins. He's going to get a yard or so and run out of bounds. So a short gain does stop the clock with 2:40 left before halftime.
Matthew Briggins keeps the ball.
Chase, it looks like it's going to be a running clock in the second half, but that is not boring to us at all to have a one-sided game because you love to see the younger guys get a lot of action. They're going to get some tonight.
And a lot of those guys have had some opportunities earlier in the season. Really, one of the standouts, the second-string defense, they've made some crucial stops against conference opponents' first-string offenses, really showing a lot of promise not only for this year, but for years to come for Arkadelphia.
Handoff up the middle, immediate tackle. The Badger interior line just eating running backs for dinner right now. Big hit immediately. Interior lineman getting up now after making that tackle. Badger after Badger making a nice play. The leader of the pack that time for Arkadelphia on the tackle was Caden Young, only a junior. We're going to bring you the names of all of the seniors here while we are at it tonight. It is senior night. They've got 2 more games than the regular season, both on the road, and of course the playoffs to come. Briggins wants to throw. He'll get it to the flat. That's a nice pass. A little bit of room to run to the 35 to the 38-yard line. That is close to a first down. Really fine job by Briggins to find that receiver out there while he was running for his life in the middle of the field.
And Briggins has made some nice reads here tonight despite all the pressure that he's faced. And it looks like he's going to have a first down here for Waldron. So good job there of resisting the pressure. It's been a decent night for Briggins. I don't believe he's been taken down for a sack yet. Arkadelphia has been able to force enough pressure to force an interception. But at the same time, Briggins has an interception himself on defense.
Yes, he does. First down and 10 for Waldron. They've been able to move the ball on their own end of the field, but they haven't gotten close to the Arkadelphia goal line. Here's a pass into the flat, incomplete. Throwing again under the run, under pressure. Did not get it to his receiver at second down and 10. Jay Taylor is watching from Hollywood Camp. I don't think he's talking about California. Tyler Robinson, class of 2011, and Montreal Waters, class of 2006, are watching from home, and they both say go Badgers. Going to be a holding call against Waldron. That's going to back them up, and when you have trouble moving the ball, the last thing you need is a holding call all the way back to the 21. They got to go to the 48 for a first down. Kyle Jones, class president of 2001, watching from home. He wants to say shout out to his classmates and the entire Badger Nation. Thank you, Kyle.
25 yards now, first and 25.
Blake Bell has sent us a note. I'm going to read that after this play. The officials now slowing down the action just a little bit, some discussion. And they're going to mark off something against Arkadelphia, it looks like. No, they are just having a conversation. Now they're going to set the ball back down, and we're going to play some football. Here we go. It's still first down, and they got a long way to go. 27 yards, in fact. Back to pass. Briggins, he's going to throw it as far as he can. He's got a receiver back there, and he cannot catch the ball. Almost intercepted, in fact. Coming up with the play defensively, almost coming down with the intersection, was a senior, Rocky Hughes.
And Rocky Hughes did a good job there staying with his man in coverage. Nearly a catch, but it was bobbled, and Hughes was right there to try and make the interception. Unfortunately, it'll just go down as a deflection, but I'm sure that he will be happy with that result. Probably would have liked the interception. But still some good disruption there out of the secondary from the Badger senior.
Waldron to the line of scrimmage, second down and very, very long. Briggins will fire it to the sideline this time. There's a catch, but not much of anywhere to go after the catch. The gain will be about 5 yards, and it's going to be a long yardage situation again on the next play. It's third down and long. So Blake says from the 10-year voice of Badger baseball, that's Blake Bell. He's been doing games for 10 years. Congrats to the 35-year voice of Badger football. Well, thank you very much, Blake, and we are glad to bring it to you. And we've got, well, hello there. Terry Television is right in front of us. Fantastic. A new channel everywhere, I think, is Terry Television. He's got his own broadcast going down there, and he says hi to us. Handoff up the middle. Not going to get much. I think they might be working on the clock at this point. Handoff on third down and very, very long is going to get 1 fourth down, and the punter is going to get a little bit more practice. 44 seconds remain, clock running now. So it looks like they're going to have to kick the ball, but that's just going to be enough maybe to exhaust the quarter.
And Chase Vantelborg making the tackle there. Member of a strong linebacking core again from Arkadelphia. That's something we've seen for the last several years. And another linebacker made a good play a few plays ago. You wanted to talk about seniors, Jeff, and that was Zane Thomason. He made a really good stop on the far side, able to wrap up the ball carrier in open field after a short gain on the pass.
Purifoy is deep. He would really like to try to get 6 points here on a kick return. That ball is blocked, caught by a Badger, returned to the 25 to the 20. He's going to score. That's going to be a touchdown on a block kick, caught in the air and returned for a touchdown by Chase Vanterborg.
Excellent job there, forcing the pressure to block the kick. But how about Vanterborg just effortlessly catching the ball in midair and with the wherewithal to get to the outside, found some green grass ahead of him, and it was off to the races. Vanterborg taking it all the way to the house. We've already had 6 offensive scores. Why not throw in a defensive score here? As now Arkadelphia just 2 points shy of getting halfway to the century mark.
The ball was blocked. It fluttered in front of Vanderborg, who is a linebacker now. He was able to corral it and then ran to the sideline, out sprinted the Waldron players for the score. Kick is up, and Curry is good again. And that's the end of the first half. We've reached the first or the end of the first half, and the beginning of halftime is coming your way momentarily. But Arkadelphia leads it 49-0. Got a few more names to bring you during halftime, but first we want to bring you a few messages from our sponsors. And then we've, of course, got the Arkadelphia High School Band to bring to you. Very excited about their show again this year. We're going to bring that to you here at halftime as well. We'll be back after this.
Doctors Gary and Rob Rucker are proud sponsors of this Arkadelphia Badger broadcast. Dr. Gary and Rob Rucker supporting the Badgers since 1996.
Get real attention on your auto insurance. Get real auto, home, and life insurance. Get Farm Bureau Insurance.
Call Clark County Farm Bureau today at 870-246-4554. Locally owned and operated, Welch Funeral Home has been serving the Arkadelphia community since 2005. Our goal at Welch Funeral Home is to offer every family that will allow us to serve them the most caring, dignified, professional service at the most affordable price. With over 40 years of experience in the funeral home industry, owner Tim Welch and Welch Funeral Home have also been longtime supporters of the Arkadelphia Badgers and Lady Badgers. Contact Welch Funeral Home at 870-230-1400 or visit them at 202 South 4th Street near downtown Arkadelphia.
While you may not be a pediatric surgeon volunteering your topiary talents at a children's hospital, your life is just as unique. Your Raymond James financial advisor gets to know you, your passions, and the way you give back, so you can live your life. That's life well planned.
The Board of Directors at South Central Electric Cooperative believes in the necessity of high-speed internet access in rural South Central Arkansas. South Central Connect was created to fulfill a need other internet providers were not able to provide in our area. South Central Connect, through our local cooperative, brings the necessity of internet service to your house, much like they did electricity in the 1930s. Sign up today at southcentralconnect.net or call 855-269-3429.
R&T Dixon's Exxon stores are proud to support this Arkadelphia Badger broadcast. Locally owned and operated by Randy and Tanya Dixon, we welcome you to visit one of our locations in Arkadelphia or Caddo Valley at each I-30 exit. We're also excited to open a bigger and better Tiger Mart at 10th and Pine in Arkadelphia next spring. R&T Dixon's Exxon stores say, Go Badgers!
Arkadelphia Tire and Outfitters is locally owned and operated by James and Tara Rollins, who were both raised here and continue to be active in our community. Arkadelphia Tire and Outfitters offers a variety of services from engine and transmission replacements to brakes, front end alignments, tire repair and replacement, and engine diagnosis on most makes and models. Stop by Arkadelphia Tire and Outfitters at 1802 Pine Street or give them a call today at 870-210-5269. Supporting Arkadelphia for years, Arkadelphia Tire and Outfitters says, Go Badgers!
Now managed by the Van Dorn Group, Sonic of Arkadelphia is ready to get involved in the Arkadelphia community. With the goal of making improvements to the Arkadelphia restaurant, the Van Dorn Group is committed to making Sonic of Arkadelphia one of the best around. Stop by Sonic of Arkadelphia today for a Route 44 slush or drink to go with the great Sonic burgers, tater tots, or french fries. Top it off with your favorite ice cream treat. Visit Sonic of Arkadelphia on 10th Street today and tell them thanks for their support of the Arkadelphia Badgers.
Welcome to the Southern Bancorp halftime show. Chris Babb with Jim Rothwell. The Waldron Bulldog Marching Band is on the field right now, and after we go over some statistics, we will have the Arkadelphia High School Badger Pride Marching Band present their full competition show for the first time. Jim, you gave Jeff some pretty staggering numbers for Donovan Whitten there in the first quarter, 160 yards in the first quarter. What did he end up the first half with?
He was 13 out of 17 for 283 yards. Had one, at least long one, dropped. Really only one bad pass, the interception. That was probably a little miscommunication there. 4 TDs, 1 interception, and at least one dropped. And maybe, I think that may have been another one, but I remember that one. It was right there and just bobbled it a little bit. Great first half. He did it 4 carries for 22 yards as well. Again, you see the diversity in the receivers. 1 week it's Purefoy and maybe Bailey, and then the next week it's Hughes and Campbell, and Babb is in there, consistently. Hughes was 3 for 83, a couple of big ones. Let's see, Campbell 4 for 95, Babb 3 for 70, Purefoy 1 for 13, and Bailey 1 for 22. Spreading it around. And yes,
13 completions, I believe it was, to 5 different receivers. Pretty good way of spreading the ball around. And you still had Kyle Reed and D'Angelo Buckley also gain 2 yards rushing.
We'll hit some with them, too, on some a little screen or something like that. I was telling somebody this week, you just have to pick your poison. Yeah. If you try to stop 1 or 2, the other's going to get you. It just doesn't matter. When they're clicking, it's tough. And Donovan's done a good job tonight with the pressure. They put some pressure on him, but he ran the ball a couple of times when the pressure came. But then he's also picked out his receivers very well. So great job from him. I want to talk about the defense. The first couple of drives, Waldron was moving the ball, short passes, and the quarterback was very accurate to begin with. I think he was about 5 out of 7 to start with. Not much yardage, so a lot of short stuff. But the defense really began to put pressure on him, and you could see the change. He ended up less than 50%, if I remember right. 10 out of 23 for 93 yards. Most of those were just short passes. The defense was basically sort of giving up the short game and just didn't want to get beat deep. So he completed some there. The running game, 19 carries for 40 yards for Waldron. That's just a little over 2 yards a carry. They have shut down the running game completely.
At halftime, it is 49-0. Arkadelphia with a lead. That last blocked blocked punt into the arms of Chase Vantelborg did a nice job of catching that, being aware, making the catch, and then nice job of running, evading the tackler, getting in the end zone.
It was a nice one. It just right there in front of him. He didn't panic or anything like that. He just scooped it up and took off and made a couple of good moves to get to the end zone. The penalties, Arkadelphia's doing a little bit better job. I think the last game we had, they were at about 10 or 11 for 100 yards. Much better tonight, and again, they've had a few turnovers, but only 3 penalties for 20 yards tonight for Arkadelphia. So that's good compared to what we've been seeing. And then the interception and then a fumble is the 2 turnovers that we've had. So
the Arkadelphia Badgers lead 49-0. After this break, we'll have the competition show from the Arkadelphia Badger Pride Marching Band. And we'll go ahead and take a break. When we come back, we'll have the Badger Pride Marching Band. Jim, thanks. I would imagine we would see the 2s in the second half, and then Arkadelphia is going to get ready for Ashdown.
That's true. Got 2 more games, 2 big ones, 2 tough opponents. Both on the road, so we'll get this one done and put it behind us and move on to the next 2.
All right, we'll be back with the Badger Pride Marching Band. It's the Southern Bancorp halftime show. We'll be back after this timeout.
You belong at Patterson Federal Credit Union. No matter your financial needs, Patterson has products to help. We offer all types of accounts, savings, Christmas club, and a variety of checking accounts, including one specially tailored to teenagers. Certificates and IRAs are also available. If you're in need of a loan, we can help you with auto, recreation, personal, and home loans. Patterson Credit Union has several strategies to help build or repair credit, including our own credit card program, credit builder loans, and financial counseling. We're proud to have served Clark County for 65 years and look forward to many more years to come. Join us soon. You belong here.
Whether you realize it or not, you see the work of Bats and Signs all around Arkadelphia. When you see the Badger equipment trailer on the way to a Badger game, Bats and Signs did that. When you're watching the Badgers, Tigers, or Reddies and see the signage that just really makes their facilities pop, Bats and Signs did that too. You see the signage in downtown Arkadelphia, on the campuses of Ouachita and Henderson, or the sign in your neighbor's yard supporting a candidate or their favorite Badger? Yep, Bats and Sign did that too. Longtime residents and supporters of all things Arkadelphia called Mark, Jared, Chris, or Ryan at Bats and Signs today to see what they can do for you.
Imagine a place where children can feel safe, a place where kids are empowered and accepted. In this place, you are special, you are unique, you are loved. Imagine a place where you can have fun every single day. We are that place.
Rise Counseling and Diagnostics is a member of the Pediatrics Plus family and offers behavioral health services to children, teens, and families. Their goal is to identify and address the needs of every client individually for their emotional, intellectual, social, and academic goals. Rise provides an array of individual and family counseling services as well as learning disability testing. You can receive services at the Pediatrics Plus Arkadelphia Clinic on 702 Hickory here in Arkadelphia or via telehealth. To learn more about how they can serve your family, visit riseforfamilies.com.
Everyone's known for something. Ours is simple. At the Southwest Auto Collection and iDriveSWA.com, you get the absolute lowest price on America's best brands: Ford, Lincoln, Chevy, GMC, Buick, and Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. The best selection and the lowest prices guaranteed. And we deliver anywhere in the state, plus tires for life. It really is that simple. Visit us today, the Southwest Auto Collection, I-30 exit 78 in Arkadelphia, or online at iDriveSWA.com.
At Southern Bancorp, we are wealth builders for everyone. We see building wealth as helping people succeed in creating strong financial futures. For some, it's having tools to build credit and buy a first home. For others, working with our award-winning SBA team to launch or grow a small business. And still others might use our unique savings plan today to save for tomorrow's dreams. Wherever you are on your wealth building journey, Southern Bancorp can help. Stop by or visit banksouthern.com to get started. Southern Bancorp, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Ladies and gentlemen, Arkadelphia Public Schools is very pleased to welcome the Arkadelphia Badger Pride Marching Band. Arkadelphia's musical selections include the following in the show entitled The West That Was, featuring the music of Michael Jackson's Earth Song, Cody Fry's Underground, the band Kansas Dust in the Wind, Ennio Morricone's The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, and the Johnny Cash hit Ring of Fire. Soloists tonight are Isla Frazier, Sarah Miller, Jared Campbell, Michaela Gentry, and Calvin Clardy. Ladies and gentlemen, Arkadelphia Schools are proud to present in your halftime performance drum major Jancy Thomas and the Arkadelphia Badger Pride Marching Band. the Arkadelphia High School Badger Pride Marching Band. Badger Pride are the 6-time reigning champions in 4A. They continue to do well in the marching season this year. The Arkadelphia High School band is under the direction of Mr. Brandon Hanlon, with assistance from Mr. Ryan Wilkerson, Miss Lori Hanlon, and Mr. Stephen Watson. The Badger Pride Band will be in performance on Tuesday evening, October 18th at Lakeside High School for Region 2 marching competition. Ladies and gentlemen, we thank you for listening to the Arkadelphia Badger Pride Marching Band.
At Southern Bancorp, we are wealth builders for everyone. We see building wealth as helping people succeed in creating strong financial futures. For some, it's having tools to build credit and buy a first home. For others, working with our award-winning SBA team to launch or grow a small business. And still others might use our unique savings plan today to save for tomorrow's dreams. Wherever you are on your wealth building journey, Southern Bancorp can help. Stop by or visit banksouthern.com to get started. Southern Bancorp, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
There we go. Well, there we go. Welcome back to Arkadelphia High School. Chris Babb, Chase Hartzell, as we wrap up the Southern Bancorp halftime show. A good performance there from the Arkadelphia Badger Pride marching band. Jeff Root will be on for the second half of action. The teams are finishing their second half warm-up. Chase, we've got a minute and a half left. We see Javion Garner taking snaps there on the there about the 48. Carson Carroza, the center. We expect to see the second string. It'll be a good exercise for the second string to get in and get some Friday night reps. Coach Tucker always talks about that.
And that's really been the key to success for Arkadelphia Badgers teams for quite some time now. You'll get a lot of these guys tonight that are celebrating their senior night. A lot of them started out with opportunities like this, those second half opportunities where you get in games where the decision is already in place. There's no doubt. But really a great opportunity here for some guys who have gotten some opportunities already this season. You mentioned Javion Garner. He's been warming up with Donovan Witten. Even in the first half, they were warming up a little bit down there on the sidelines in the last couple minutes. He's gotten a few opportunities to pass the ball around and some really good opportunities here to face off against a defense that's really struggled in containing this Arkadelphia passing game thus far. You know, Coach Shucker mentioned that 5-2 set, and we mentioned it a few times ourselves here on the broadcast. He's done a great job of containing the run at times, but at the same time, that opens up some huge opportunities in the passing game. So we'll see if Garner can capitalize.
Javion Garner, the sophomore, also a talented baseball player, plays basketball as well. He got some good reps in the scrimmage game against Lake Hamilton early in the season. Got some reps also in a few games earlier this season, and he will be ready to go. That'll wrap up the Southern Bancorp halftime show. We'll take a quick break, and we'll be back with the kickoff of the second half. You're watching ArkadelphiaBadgerTV.com. Back after this.
Under perfect conditions, your car traveling at 65 miles per hour can stop in about 300 feet. That's the length of a football field.
But a fully loaded tractor trailer, one that weighs 80,000 pounds, will take 2 football fields to stop. And that's if the driver is rested, paying attention, and the truck and load is properly maintained.
If you're in an accident with a big truck, call 1-800-CAR-WRECK.
Get the experienced team that's going to be on your side, by your side.
Second half action coming your way momentarily. This is Jeff Root, along with me as Chase Hartzell, and we're going to bring you some action tonight. I want to say thank you to Chris Babb and to Southern Bancorp for the halftime show. Third quarter action coming your way momentarily. Providence Veterinary Clinic is our sponsor for the third quarter. Zanetta Floyd, class of '89, is watching tonight. She is watching from her home in Dallas, Texas. Robin and Marcus Winfrey, proud parents of 3 Badgers, are watching from their home tonight. We're glad that you have joined us. Kathy Garrett is watching also, proud mom of 6 Badger graduate daughters. And she says, go Badgers. We thank you for letting us know that you're watching. Carrie Price, class of 2000, says, go Mighty Badgers. Thank you very much, Carrie. Will Teed, class of 2017, is watching at home with his parents, Frank and Sarah Teed. Go Badgers. We're excited that you are joining us also. Jerry Thomason and Rhonda Smith Thomason are watching from Springdale tonight. They're members of the class of 1972. Go Badgers, they say, and we agree. Mary Golden Cagle, Arkadelphia High School class of 1977, son of Forrest Cagle, class of 2000, or their son, her sons, Forrest Cagle, class of 2007, and the late Lauren Cagle, class of 2010, watching from home, and they say go Badgers as well. David Golden is watching tonight, class of 1968. And he said, you know, you guys mentioned Michael Brownlee. That triggers memories of the Lonniest Brownlee years. Yes, it does. The 1980s are never far from our mind. Larry and Carol watching. Grandson Trip Campbell make touchdowns tonight from Delight. Yes, he is making touchdowns. The Badgers have made quite a few. It's 49-0. Arkadelphia, and we are ready for second half action. Second down coming your way here as we get underway in the second half as Waldron has the kickoff. We are in a rolling clock situation. It's a good sportsmanship rule, sometimes called the mercy rule. We're going to call it the good sportsmanship rule, Chase. We'll take the high road here. And it is second down and 7 for Waldron. They're going to take plenty of time, no big hurry. They want to practice their craft and have a chance to win a game later in the season. They're not going to get a win tonight. Backup quarterback is in. We'll bring you his name momentarily. Run to the right side. There's some running room against that young Arkadelphia defense. They've got yardage up to the 35 to the 40, breaking a tackle to the 40-yard line, breaking another tackle, and finally brought down at the Arkadelphia 31-yard line. On the carry was a big, strong back named Logan Young, an 11th grader. Made a nice run for Waldron.
That was a fine run there from the junior. First off, able to use his speed to get to the outside and create a little bit of a foot race situation. Arkadelphia did a decent job there of sticking with him, but how about Young also bulldozing off of the defenders that time? Able to get all the way down to the 30-yard line. Again, really good field position here for the Bulldogs.
Waldron has some starters in, but a backup quarterback has checked in, and he had trouble with the snap, and now he runs, reverses his field, makes some good yardage. He's got 10, he's got 12, knocked out of bounds. Keegan Lynch. I thought Keegan Lynch looked really good in warm-ups. I thought he might be the starter until I looked up his number and saw he's the 10th grade quarterback, but he's got a future here as a quarterback for Waldron.
And really here an opportunity to show off his skills. We talked about the younger guys getting these opportunities for Arkadelphia. How about Waldron as well? Lynch has a lot of potential, as we've seen here tonight. On the first couple of plays, looks like he's capitalizing on that potential with some nice gains here for the Bulldogs, getting some help from Young as well. We'll see if Waldron can capitalize on their best field position of the night.
Backup quarterback. Everybody else looks like a starter for Waldron. This is Keegan. He's going to run forward and make about 3 yards on the carry. Keegan Lynch, the young quarterback, on the carry. Damian Dickens, who had a couple of good runs in the first half, is also in as a running back in the formation. Now they're going to bring in a couple of other players, change the formation perhaps on second down for Waldron after a gain of 6. It's 2nd and 4. We're just underway in the third quarter. Arkadelphia leading at 49-0, but Waldron on the move here in this rolling clock situation. On 2nd and 4, they're going to see a whistle blow as they get the play started, and that's going to back up Waldron by 5. Procedure call, going to back them up. 2nd and 4 becomes 2nd down and 9 yards to go. This is the best scoring opportunity Waldron's had all night, though.
They've really struggled to get into Arkadelphia territory several times tonight, as Arkadelphia has been staunch on this side of the field. Even when they have gotten here, they've never gotten down in the red zone. This is the first opportunity really for the Bulldogs to try and punch it into the end zone. We'll see if they can capitalize on the opportunity. Got to avoid penalties like that, though.
On 2nd and 9 from the shotgun, Lynch at quarterback will roll to his left. It's a running play. He'll cut upfield, make some yardage to the 12, 11-yard line. I think they'll spot it down short of the 10. 3rd down coming, and they're going to need another 3 yards.
And again, Lynch doing a good job with the quarterback keeper, getting some good yardage up the middle.
Waldron is not afraid to play. I mean, they're working hard at it. Don't have quite the talent level of Arkadelphia. Couldn't hang with the Badgers in the first half, but they intend to represent themselves well here in the second half. Lynch at quarterback. And the youngster bobbles the snap. Now he'll run, and he will not make the first down as he stopped at the 10-yard line. In fact, they might mark it right at the 11 for no gain. So it's 4th down, and they still need 3 yards. Maybe about 3.5.
Well, here on senior night, another senior making a play there up front. That was Alex Gatlin with the tackle of Lynch, following a bit of a miscommunication on the snap. Clock continuing to roll here, already almost halfway through the 3rd quarter. And Waldron still with its first possession of the half.
Arkadelphia would love to keep its shutout alive. On 4th down, they're going to hand off. He's hit immediately. He's trying to drag a Badger, but the other Badgers come in and make the tackle. He's not going to have a first down. Arkadelphia is going to take over on downs near its 10-yard line. I think they'll mark it right back at the 11, so no gain on 4th down, and the Badger offense will take over, led by a new quarterback checking in for the game. Some of his relatives called in earlier when we had the crawl line up with the phone number to say, call us and tell us where you're watching from. And it's going to be Javian Garner checking in at quarterback. He is a sophomore.
Garner's had a few opportunities to play at quarterback, and we talked about it on the halftime show briefly. Garner, a multi-sport athlete. He's a fine football player, but many say he's an even better baseball player.
He's going to throw it on 1st down, a little bit behind his intended receiver, and Bailey could not pull it in. 2nd down and 10 coming. Good throw, but a little bit behind Bailey, and he couldn't pull it in. So Arkadelphia will line up again quickly. We're going to bring in the names of some of the younger guys who are checking in, getting playing time. Now, Bailey, of course, is a starter, but he's only a junior. Several younger guys in, including on the offensive line. And they're going to throw the ball. Ooh, Garner dropped the ball that time. Now, Waldron picks it up. They run into the end zone. Is that an incompletion or a fumble? I think they called it a fumble. That is a touchdown for Waldron on a ball that just slipped out of the hands of Javian Garner.
Tough break there for the sophomore quarterback, but credit to the Bulldogs on not giving up on that play and playing all the way to the whistle. Defensive lineman able to come up with the ball, and right there in the end zone, in fact, for Waldron. Bulldogs able to break up the shutout. Offense was hoping to do it, but the defense coming up here for Waldron as they have now cut the deficit to 42. Although you got to be feeling pretty good getting that goose egg off of the scoreboard.
A defensive touchdown on a pass attempt that didn't become a pass attempt because he dropped it as he was moving the ball back before coming forward with a pass attempt. So they called it a fumble. And the quarterback wants to keep it, trying to run wide to get get a 2-point conversion. They will not make it. And so Arkadelphia stops that play. The offense has not scored any points tonight for Waldron, but they pick up 6 with the defense, and they'll kick off to Arkadelphia momentarily. The clock will continue to run during our break. Under 4 minutes to play in the 3rd quarter, brought to you by Providence Veterinary Clinic.
Arkadelphia 49.
Price & Company Insurance is the area's only trusted choice independent insurance agency. What is that, you might ask? An independent insurance agency works for you, the customer, and not the insurance companies. So the next time you're shopping for home, auto, business, life, or health insurance, we invite you to experience an unprecedented level of customer service and expertise. Call or click for a quote today.
Arkadelphia is set to return the kickoff after the defensive touchdown by Waldron on a fumble return. They're going to send Hughes, Purifoy, and Reed deep. We'll see if the ball goes deep, as Bulldogs might want to try to keep it away from those 3. It is going to be a short kick, fieldable at the 33, up to the 35-yard line, now returned to the 40-yard line, to the 45, 50-yard line, knocked out of bounds at the 45-yard line for Arkadelphia. What a fine return.
It's Carter Babb on the return for the Badgers, and we've seen him factor into the passing game quite a bit, that time coming up in special teams, giving the offense some good field position to start out the drive. This will be the first time that the Badgers will have the ball in enemy territory here in the second half, as with the good sportsmanship rule, the clock moving quickly here. Waldron had some good momentum on that first drive, but stalled out in the end. Good defensive stop by the Badgers, but a costly turnover led to a scoop and score for the Bulldogs.
Alan Buckley is in at running back. He gets the carry, is hit immediately, and he's going to be spun down at the line of scrimmage. Other Badgers checking in. Maddox Atkins is in the game for Arkadelphia. Going to see some other younger guys in action through the rest of this second half. Tristan Smith is checked in for the Badgers also. Quarterback is Javian Garner. Low snap, but he's got it. He'll throw the ball into the flat and throw it incomplete over the head of his intended receiver. And so it is 3rd down and 11. They'll look to the sideline to get the play. Again, a running clock. We're late in the third quarter because it is a lopsided game. It was 49-0 at halftime, 49-6 right now after Waldron scored a defensive touchdown on a fumble return. Now the Badgers going to line up. Buckley is the running back, the quarterback, Javian Garner. They look to the sideline for the play. On 3rd down and about 10.5, Garner wants to throw. He's running to his left. He's got a little bit of room, and he will run. He's going to make yardage up to the 40. Now he'll skip down the sideline and go out of bounds. And it is a 1st down Arkadelphia. They're going to mark it up the 34-yard line. What a good job, Chase, of tiptoeing down that sideline.
Garner's got great field vision like many of his teammates that time. He felt the pressure but was able to make something happen on the far side. As you mentioned, Jeff, a great cut there at the end to extend the play. Probably could have gone out of bounds, but got 5 or 6 more yards for the Welch Funeral Home 1st down.
Here is Garner. Oh, a nice handoff. Buckley right up the middle, bullying his way across the 25 to the 20 to the 19-yard line. Nice run by the senior for Arkadelphia, Alan Buckley. From the 19, 1st down and 10 Arkadelphia. They'll move the chain, and Arkadelphia is ready for action. Another handoff. Buckley up the middle again. More room. He's inside the 15. Runs over a defender. He's down to the 11-yard line.
Buckley had some nice runs in Arkadelphia's last game against Mina. Was able to cap it off with a touchdown. And we're going to have a break here as already 12 minutes gone here in the 3rd quarter.
That's the end of the 3rd.
That brings us to the final quarter break of the game prior to the final.
After 3 quarters of play, it's Arkadelphia 49 and Waldron 6. We'll be back with 4th quarter action after this.
At Eccles, Thompson, and Kneebone CPA, we seek to provide accounting, tax, and financial planning services to individuals and small businesses with proficiency and integrity. Serving Arkadelphia since 1977, our staff looks forward to meeting your financial goals of today and also becoming your financial advocate for life. Visit us at 205 North 25th Street or call 246-8991 today. Eccles, Thompson, and Kneebone LTD says go Badgers.
4th quarter action just about to come your way, sponsored by Eccles, Thompson, and Kneebone. This game has not been in doubt since early on. Arkadelphia led 49-0 at halftime. Waldron got a defensive touchdown on a fumble return in the 3rd quarter, a very fast-moving 3rd quarter with a rolling clock. And so it's 49-6 right now. Arkadelphia in the lead and getting some valuable experience for some of the younger guys.
And right now the younger guys perhaps getting a measure of revenge here as they got a chance to put up some points of their own following the score a few moments ago. Offense has been waiting for an opportunity to redeem themselves, and they've got a chance right here. Ball down at the 12-yard line here to start out the corner. Alan Buckley's been looking really good on this drive, has had some solid runs down the stretch, and hopefully he can cap that off with a score here.
Ball at the 11-yard line of Waldron. Badgers line up. Buckley is the running back. The quarterback is Javian Garner. Snap, pass to the flat. It's caught to the 5. That's in the end zone. Touchdown, Badgers.
There's a flag on the play.
Oh, are they going to call it back? I think they're going to call it back. Nice catch and run by Maddox Atkins, but I think they're going to call that back.
Holding against Arkadelphia.
Well, a block on the edge turned into a holding call. Good effort, but a little too much jersey apparently, and the official made the call.
That's a tough break there for Atkins, the junior. That time it was just a simple screen route in the flats, but he was able to turn it into something special as he was able to get around the edge. Unfortunately, as you mentioned, Jeff, that one's going to be called back by the penalty, but if you're Arkadelphia, you got to be happy with how that played out.
Noah Hurd is at the top of your screen at receiver. Also in for Arkadelphia at receiver, Nathan Alexander to the bottom of your screen. Here's a running play for Buckley, but he's surrounded by Bulldogs, and he'll lose a yard or two.
Coming up with the tackle that time for the Bulldogs was Logan Young. He's made an impact on the offensive side of the ball, was a huge part of that somewhat successful drive to start out the half where the Bulldogs drove all the way down the field. They were eventually turned away, though that did set up for the defensive score moments later.
3rd down and 10 for the Badgers.
Looked like a player might have been offsides, but I don't see a flag. Garner will roll to his right and throw downfield. He's got a receiver. It's caught. Tackle made near the 5-yard line. Good throw on the run and a good catch.
Great job there by Garner resisting the pressure. Had to roll out to his right that time and ended up having to throw across his body to find the open man downfield, but he did indeed. That's going to be good enough for a Welch Funeral Home first down, 1st and goal for the Badgers.
That was Noah Hurd on the catch. On 1st down and goal, they're coming after the quarterback, but he hands off, and Buckley has some space to the 5. Buckley, touchdown, Arkadelphia.
Touchdown, Arkadelphia.
And again, a huge pop here from the hometown crowd at All Care Field as Alan Buckley scoring a touchdown for the 2nd consecutive game. He was facing some contact early on that run. It was good pressure up front by Waldron. That's what they specialize in, is trying to cover those runs up the middle. But Buckley able to stay on his feet and was able to use his field vision to continue pressing on, and a nice spin into the end zone for the Farm Bureau touchdown.
Brock Curry on for the extra point attempt. He's been perfect tonight, and he remains perfect tonight. Arkadelphia 56 and Waldron 6. 9:13 left, and the clock just continues to roll here in the 4th quarter. We'll be back with more action after this.
As a family-owned sporting goods supplier since 1950, Southwest Sporting Goods understands the value of customer service and is committed to providing the best quality customer service and merchandise available. Southwest Sporting Goods is located in Arkadelphia, but also has salesmen that cover the entire state of Arkansas to help ensure that their customers will receive the best customer service and pricing that can be found. Southwest Sporting Goods, located in downtown Arkadelphia, supporting the Badgers since 1950.
We are so thankful to all of our sponsors. We're going to bring you all of their names as we get near the end of the broadcast and work our way into the post-game show, which is going to be sponsored by Blend Real Estate and Kerry Garnett, champion quarterback of 1979, who is watching us and watching at Petco Park as San Diego tries to win a playoff series against the Dodgers. Arkadelphia sets up for the kickoff. 56-6, Arkadelphia in the lead, 8:08 left. Clock does stop after a score. Now they're starting it again, and it's going to roll. Here's the kick. Returnable on a deep, long kickoff from the 8-yard line. Return near the 20, but he's not going to make the 20. Good kick coverage by Arkadelphia.
Arkadelphia again pinning the Bulldogs within their own 20-yard line. And Jeff, going back to the great response that we've had tonight over the text, you mentioned the playoffs with Padres and the Dodgers, but that's not the only Major League playoff cities that we've heard from tonight. We've also heard plenty from the Emerald City, Seattle.
Yeah, I think we had like four or five maybe from
Yes.
Seattle who texted us tonight.
Exciting time in Seattle as postseason getting ready to return there for a game for the first time since 2001. Into the longest postseason drought in the major leagues for the Seattle Mariners. They're taking on the Houston Astros. We've also had a few people calling from H-Town.
On first down, they're going to fake a handoff. Now they will hand it off to the left side. Not much room there. He had a good run in the first half, did Damian Dickens, but not a lot on that run. So it's second down and long coming. If you're just tuning in, we ran a crawl line and gave a phone number for folks to text in and tell us where they're watching from, if they're related to a Badger, if they're a Ouachita or Arkadelphia alumnus. And we had 78 responses to that during the first half when we set the number up on the screen for a while. I want to say thank you to everybody who sent us a note. I think I've covered all the names now. It's been just so much fun to talk about that and see Badgers from all over the country, from Virginia, from North Carolina, from California, from the far west coast, Seattle included. Here's a run to the left side, and again, not much yardage at all against the Arkadelphia defense. All of those places topped by South Korea as a place where they're watching the Badgers tonight. So we're so proud to be able to bring you this game. Ouachita, or Arkadelphia, I should say, people from all over the country watching. Very interesting game going on right now in conference.
That's right. We've got an update from Ashdown as Ashdown hosting the Nashville Scrappers. Of course, Arkadelphia playing the Scrappers earlier in the season and winning handily in that one. Panthers the next opponent for the Badgers, but right now the Panthers narrowly on top, 20-14 the score late in the third quarter.
Nice run up the middle. This time he's going to get a first down, a third and long situation, but a good cut up the middle and a nice speedy run. First carry of the night, I believe, and it was a good one for a first down at the Ashdown 32-yard line. On the run for the Bulldogs was Stephen Figueroa. He is a senior, in fact. Clock continuing to run. We're in a rolling clock situation, so we're nearing 5 minutes to play. The game's going to be over soon, and it's been a big night for the Arkadelphia Badgers on senior night. To the left side it goes. Not much room again for Dickens. Arkadelphia says they've recovered a fumble, and the officials agree. Arkadelphia comes up with another turnover, and one more opportunity now for the offense to move the ball as Javian Garner sprints to the huddle, and his players get nearby, and they want to score before the end of this football game. The backup player is really excited about one more chance. They just scored on their last possession, want to score again.
How about the Arkadelphia young defense stepping up there again? And it's important to note again that those 6 points that you see up there on the board, that's not from the defense or allowed by the Arkadelphia defense. It's actually created by Waldron's defense. They got a scoop and score. So technically from a defensive standpoint, Arkadelphia is still looking at a shutout in terms of keeping the offense off the board, but the Bulldogs getting some help from the defensive group.
Ball at the 35-yard line. They're going to bring the linebackers, and he'll run right past him. There's good yardage. First down yardage for Buckley. If you bring your linebackers, they better hit the running back in the backfield because he got past him and had good yardage with a gap there for a 12-yard run and a first down by Buckley.
You got to love watching the senior run. He runs with heart on every single touch that he gets. He's going to get another one here. Actually, it's a fake.
Pass to the flat, but a missed connection there, and the Badgers have second down and 10. Clock continues to run at 3:33. You know, you're not trying to run up the score by any means, Chase, but you got to let the young guys try to score because they practice hard too, and they're your future, so you got to see them execute.
And you know they want to make the most of every opportunity that they get. But also, in that same sense, too, there are also some seniors in this group wanting to make an impact in their last regular season home game.
Here's Garner up the middle, a good run to the 15. He's got a first down, hit hard and knocked down, but he'll fall forward for a first down inside the 15 all the way to the 11-yard line. First down and 10 for the Badgers. Garner looked very fast that time.
He did, and the offense is wasting no time getting up to the line, practicing that up-tempo.
Chris Babb has gone to the sideline. He'll bring us a post-game interview. Want you to stay tuned for our post-game show, sponsored by Blend Real Estate and Kerry Garnett. Fourth quarter is brought to you by Eccles, Thompson, and Kneebone. And now we got a blocking penalty that will bring the ball back, and there is a timeout on the field. So we will keep it here and just talk one more time about the fact that we had so many people call in, Chase, and from so many different locations. Makes you so glad. I mean, listen, we did radio for years and years, so proud of those years, but to do live stream where people anywhere watch Arkadelphia alumni or folks who have kids in Arkadelphia maybe playing for the Badgers, when people anywhere can tune in, it's a special thing.
And when you have a fan base so special like the Badger faithful that we have here at Arkadelphia, just having those opportunities, you know that people are going to capitalize on those opportunities when they get the chance. So we're glad that we're able to bring these games into people's homes that they may not have been able to experience otherwise, especially, you know, in previous times. But, you know, that's part of the blessing of the new technology that we have with us now. We're able to quite literally share the game all over the world. As you mentioned, South Korea. We had a viewer in South Korea here tonight.
Just tremendous. First down at 10, Arkadelphia. They're going to spot the ball at the 12, so there's a timeout but not a penalty. Running play by Buckley. He'll fall forward near the 10-yard line, but second down and long coming, and still 2:42 left, but the clock's just going to continue to run.
And you know that Buckley wants to get into the end zone one more time here on senior night. He's continuing to try and power forward. Waldron doing their best to keep him out of the end zone.
He's seen a lot of action tonight, and Waldron's going to jump off sides. Flags go down. Seems like every time they run the hard count, Waldron's offsides.
Waldron has tried to run the blitz a lot out of the 5-2. We've seen more jumps off of the defensive ends here, but a lot of those encroachment penalties that you've seen have actually come out of the secondary. They've been blitzing linebackers or even defensive backs.
So 5 easy yards, and it's 2nd down and 4 yards to go. They can make a first down without making a touchdown. In trouble is Garner, though, and they're going to drag him down by the jersey at the 16-yard line. That was a good play defensively by Waldron. Coming up with that play in the backfield was Garrett Morris. He is a 10th grader, made a nice play. 3 receivers at the bottom of your screen, 3 young guys that will play a major part in the future for the Badgers. Maddox Atkins out there. We also see Nathan Alexander. And there's a running play. Some yardage, but not enough for Buckley. It's going to be 4th down coming, and they're going to need about 10 yards for the first down. Also in the game for Arkadelphia, Tristan Smith.
Arkadelphia back to the original line of scrimmage.
So it's 4th down. Clock running now near a minute. Arkadelphia in no hurry. Everybody getting action tonight. Badgers looking strong, getting ready for the 2 big games to finish the regular season. Here's Buckley. He's going to fall forward to the 10. That's going to turn it back over to Waldron, and Waldron will have very little time left as the defense comes on for Arkadelphia. Offense comes on for the Bulldogs, but we're down to 40 seconds, and the clock is running.
So the ball goes over,
And the Bulldogs may be able to get one more play off as they are sending the offense back out there, but the play clock hasn't reset.
They could get a play off. I think they've got time, but will they bother to do it? We don't know. 16 seconds left. They could let it run out, or they could run one more play.
I think they want at least one more here as they are at least lined up for it. Play clock at 0.
Lynch at quarterback would like to maybe throw a pass. He is going to instead hand it off up the middle. It's going to be a short gain of about 3 or 4 yards. Arkadelphia, in fact, says they've recovered a fumble, but it won't matter. This game has just ended. Arkadelphia with the victory. The Badgers come up with a big win tonight to set up a showdown against Ashdown and then another showdown to finish the regular season against Malvern. Those are going to be 2 fantastic games. Arkadelphia's got to play them both on the road. We'll talk more about that in postgame, but tonight, all Arkadelphia, wonderful senior night. Final score, Arkadelphia 56, Waldron 6. We'll be back with the postgame show after this.
Locally owned and operated, Java Primo is the official coffee house of ArkadelphiaBadgerTV.com. At Java Primo, amazing coffee is just the beginning. In addition to coffee, drinks, and desserts, we also have wonderful options for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Shop our gift selection 24/7 online at javaprimo.com or visit us on Main Street in historic downtown Arkadelphia. Java Primo Coffee House, Cafe, and more says, Go Badgers!
Turner, Rogers, Manning & Plyler CPA is a longtime supporter of the Arkadelphia Public School District. Turner, Rogers, Manning & Plyler has established a reputation for providing clients with outstanding services that include auditing, accounting, and tax and business consulting. Contact Turner, Rogers, Manning & Plyler today at 870-246-4563 or by visiting them at 305 Professional Park Drive in Arkadelphia. Turner, Rogers, Manning & Plyler says, Go Badgers!
Doctors Gary and Rob Rucker are proud sponsors of this Arkadelphia Badger broadcast. Dr. Gary and Rob Rucker supporting the Badgers since 1996.
We appreciate all of our sponsors so much. We're into the postgame show now, brought to you by Blend Luxury Real Estate and Kerry Garnett. This is Jeff Root. Along with me is Chase Hartzell. Coleman Callan did a super job on camera tonight. And Jim Rothwell is going to bring us a stat report in a moment. It's going to look a lot like, or sound a lot like, the halftime report because the starters didn't play in the second half. Chase, they were not needed.
That's right. Really, Waldron commanding the time of possession in the second half. We knew that the Bulldogs were going to be taking it a little bit slower tempo. They do love to run the spread. And really, they created an even second half there, but unfortunately it was just too much of a mountain to climb. Arkadelphia got some great experience for the younger guys, putting together a scoring drive, but Waldron also with a victory to take away here in the form of a takeaway and a scoop and score here in the second half, putting up 6 points and breaking up the shutout on the defensive side of the ball.
Chase, Arkadelphia came in as the favorite, and they acted like a favorite tonight. They acted like the #1 team in Class 4A again this week. Arkadelphia got offensive touchdown after offensive touchdown, a special teams touchdown, and they also played fine defense throughout the game. First team defense a shutout through the first 2 quarters, and then only 1 touchdown given up by the backup defense throughout the second half. So it's, again, a team victory, but a big victory, especially for the seniors on senior night.
That's right, and we talk about winning the game in all 3 aspects. You talk about special teams. You talk about the offense, the defense. I think one guy that we haven't mentioned quite yet is Brock Curry. He's another senior who had a great game here tonight. He was perfect on his PATs. He was perfect 8 for 8. It's not easy to go that long without missing a PAT, but that's exactly what the senior did here tonight. And you look across the board, Max Wilson making some great plays on the defensive side of the ball. Antonio Hughes had some great coverage, and he also made plays offensively. Donovan Witten, of course, with the 4 passing touchdowns. He had the 1 rushing touchdown as well. Alan Buckley, another senior, got a score. And speaking of Donovan Witten, how crazy is that all 4 of his passing touchdowns all went seniors?
Yeah, an awesome display tonight by the senior class. And we want to mention even before the game started, when the seniors were introduced to the crowd, a large crowd here, of course, for senior night. They were very well received, as were all of the seniors and all of the sports that were introduced, and the band also, and their seniors were introduced. But I thought it was especially meaningful that Coach he just came up to every player. I mean, every single player, whether they were a starter or a backup player or a special teams player, every player Coach Shucker came up to, gave them a hug, and talked to them. Don't know what he said, but talked to every single player. I'm sure that was a heartfelt discussion that they had down the sideline as he was thanking them for their hard work.
Well, you hear the term Friday Night Family thrown around a lot, and you see that a lot with the Badgers. That's really one of the top mantras of this program. But that's seeing it in action, and Coach Shucker really does take the time to invest in each and every one of this young men. It's not just a football team of these guys all coming together from the same school to try and pursue a state championship. This really is a family. These guys care for each other like brothers, and it's really just a beautiful display.
I thought it was nice when they had the off week last week. He took the whole team bowling. I mean, it's like, we're all friends. We're all working hard together. Let's take a night off. Let's go bowl for a while. And you can just imagine how much fun the players had bowling instead of practicing during those few minutes. And yet they got plenty of practice in. They were ready for the game tonight. You wonder about trap games throughout a season. When is the game going to come when you're not quite ready to play and the other team is ready to play and suddenly the underdog is a threat? It hasn't happened all year. It didn't happen tonight.
And for the Badgers, they face an interesting challenge this year because they have not 1, not 2, but 3 bye weeks this year. So you're looking at 3 times where the Badgers have had to bounce back from an off week to go in and play an opponent. 2 of those already in the rearview mirror. This is another one of those tests here tonight. Badgers weren't shying away from the Bulldogs at all, and it really looked as if no time had passed from last week's game the game 2 weeks ago against the Wildcats. In fact, that's how strong it was. It seemed like it was just last week.
That's right.
But the Badgers really are appearing to be in midseason form, and they're not losing that form either with these bye weeks. Going to have one more before a very important game in Malvern in a couple weeks. But next week, you start to look ahead to the Ashdown Panthers.
Again, that's happened because 2 teams in conference did not field an 11-man team. They went, at least for 1 year, to an 8-man schedule and an 8-man league. That's something you never expect to have an off week during the conference season. It's always those 7 straight weeks of 7 straight conference games, but not this year for the Badgers. And yet next week, it's at Ashdown, and then a week off, and then at Malvern, and then the playoffs. And how you do in the next 2 games has a lot to do with how many home playoff games you're going to play.
Yep, we've talked a lot about the playoffs. First off, we wanted to talk about Kerry Garnett being in the Major League playoffs tonight. Pretty unique opportunity there. But really, a lot of the conversation tonight has also been about the playoffs here, the 4A state playoffs. And when you look at these games down the stretch, especially when you start to look towards Ashdown and Malvern, all of them looking to be in the top half of the conference. Ashdown right now battling with Nashville for some seeding. We knew that the Scrappers were going to make some noise this year, and they're definitely giving the Panthers a challenge on the road tonight. But these are the games that you got to win to secure that seeding first. You want to start to win those lower seeds first and then start to build your way up. And that's how you do it. You got to win those first conference games and take it week by week. And it just so happens this year that the Badgers are going to face 2 of their strongest opponents in conference, 2 of the teams that they're going to be battling for those top 3 spots with in those last 2 games.
Well, Kerry Garnett and Blend Luxury Real Estate in San Diego, they're our post-game sponsors, and Kerry is at the playoff game tonight, and we have good news for the Padre fans like Kerry. Kerry's at that game, and in the 4th inning, San Diego leads the Dodgers 1-0. So Gary Garnett's having a good night tonight, first with the Badger win and also with the team he's cheering for in San Diego, at least right now with a lead over the mighty Dodgers. When we come back, we're going to hear from Jim Rothwell, who's got some exciting stats. Keep in mind, it's going to be 2-quarter stats for the starters, but they're still very impressive stats. We'll give you those when we come back with more of the postgame show after this word.
Locally owned and operated, Welch Funeral Home has been serving the Arkadelphia community since 2005. Our goal at Welch Funeral Home is to offer every family that will allow us to serve them the most caring, dignified, professional service at the most affordable price. With over 40 years of experience in the funeral home industry, owner Tim Welch and Welch Funeral Home have also been longtime supporters of the Arkadelphia Badgers and Lady Badgers. Contact Welch Funeral Home at 870-230-1400 or visit them at 202 South 4th Street near downtown Arkadelphia.
While you may not be a pediatric surgeon volunteering your topiary talents at a children's hospital, your life is just as unique. Your Raymond James financial advisor gets to know you, your passions, and the way you give back, so you can live your life. That's life well planned.
The Board of Directors at South Central Electric Cooperative believes in the necessity of high-speed internet access in rural South Central Arkansas. South Central Connect was created to fulfill a need other internet providers were not able to provide in our area. South Central Connect, through our local cooperative, brings the necessity of internet service to your house, much like they did electricity in the 1930s. Sign up today at southcentralconnect.net or call 855-269-3429.
Postgame show underway, sponsored by Blend Luxury Real Estate and Kerry Garnett. This is Jeff Root. Along with me is Jim Rothwell on statistics. And Jim, you might have some 2-quarter stats, but as we were saying moments ago, these are pretty impressive stats for 2 quarters of play.
It really is. If you remember, Whitten was 13 out of 17 for 283 yards, 4 TDs, 1 interception there at half. Garner came in the second half, was 1 out of 3, 12 yards, so ended up 295 yards passing. Buckley rushed 6 times there. Alan Buckley 6 for 32 and 1 TD. Whitten had 4 carries for 22 and 1 TD. And then D'Angelo Buckley 2 carries for 17 yards and a TD. And Reed had 3 carries for 11. We saw him early. Then D'Angelo Buckley came in. Arkadelphia really didn't run the ball very much. Their attempts were, you can tell, at 95 yards. Rushing is all they had. The attempts weren't that many. But they didn't have to. The passing game was just there anytime they wanted it. Big plays in the passing game. Again, we see the spreading of the ball around by Donovan Whitten. Babb 3 catches for 83 yards, a TD. Purefoy, sort of a quiet night for him, 1 for 13, but it'll probably be him down at Ashdown. Hughes 3 for 70, some big plays, 1 TD. Campbell 4 for 95. 2 TDs for him. It's good to see him back. This is what we sort of expected from him. It's taken him a while to get in the groove, or it's just so many different receivers. It's somebody's turn every night. Bailey, 1 for 22. Total team yards, 390. Did much better on the penalties. Only 5 for 40 yards tonight. Did have the 1 interception and a couple of lost fumbles. Those kind of things you just, against Malvern, you can't do those things and give them the ball. Right. So you're going to have to clean those up. But one of the interceptions was just a little miscommunication. Whitten thought the receiver was going one direction, went a different one. Fumbles, those just sometimes happen, but you got to have that ball security there for that. Defense did a good job until the second half when you had a lot of the backups in there. First half, Waldron really, I think they had 80 or 90 yards rushing is all. They ended up with 126 on 31 carries. A little over 4 yards a carry, but most of that came right at the end in the third and fourth quarter when these backups were in there for Arkadelphia. Passing, the quarterback Briggins was 10 out of 23, a little over 40, about 43%, 44%. Did have a few big, not really big plays, but some key passes to get first downs, keep some drives going. He ended up with only 93 yards, so they did have 10 receptions for 93 yards there. had some fumbles, lost 2, didn't have an interception as well. So again, they had some problems. Penalties, they were about like Arkadelphia. They had 6 for 45. So pretty clean game other than the turnovers for both teams. Penalties were good for both of them. What we saw with Waldron, really, they don't have the athleticism and speed. That's why you had to open receivers. There were a lot of open receivers all the time. Sometimes Whitten could have picked 3 or 4 different ones. They were just that wide open. Had one long pass for a TD that was bobbled a little bit and dropped. He would have ended up with over 300 yards in the first half if that one had been, and maybe another touchdown. It was just that kind of game. That was a big difference. Waldron has a very solid team. Quarterback was real impressive, able to throw on the run, scramble some. When he got pressure, when Arkadelphia started putting pressure on him there in the second quarter, really made a difference. He started off like 5 out of 7, 6 out of 8. Nothing big, but a lot of short passes, keep drives going, got some first downs. And then the pressure came, and you could tell it made a difference. His accuracy started driving in 3 or 4 in a row just because he didn't have the time to throw on that. So, good game. You can't – offense, defense. Need to clean up a few things going in these last weeks of the season. Special teams always look good. You've got a chance to return a punt or a kickoff anytime one's in the air if they can catch it. So, got a great kicking with Curry. We don't have to punt very much, so we don't know really about that. But I think Donovan's done a good job when he's had to. So it's coming together. We'll see. I'll get my hat ready for the down the road here maybe.
The lucky hat's been around a long time. It's been to state championships. We need to bring it back.
I tried. It's been to 3, I guess, and hopefully we make it to 4.
Jim, Ashdown and Malvern, the last 2 opponents, got to play at their place for both of those games. Ashdown struggling tonight, but still leading Nashville 20-14 in the fourth quarter. Malvern manhandling Mena as expected, 47-14. That's a fourth quarter score. One thing about the defenses for those 2 teams is how do you cover everybody? When you talk about 5 receivers for the Badgers, 3 of them scoring touchdowns tonight, 2 by Campbell, 1 by Babb, 1 by Hughes. But you've also got Purifoy with a catch tonight. You've got catches from Bailey. You've got 5 legitimate good receivers.
We didn't even throw the backs tonight.
Exactly. Plus, you've got not only Reed, who's played so well, but now Buckley is back, so you're deep at that position as well. This is going to be a hard offense for anyone to stop.
It really is. Early in the season, there were a lot of dump-off passes to Buckley. We haven't seen that since he's been hurt, really, and didn't see it tonight. And those are good to keep a drive going, and particularly if defense concentrates on the receivers. You dump it off to him and get him in open spaces, or in Reed, either one. When they get in open space, they can take it to the house just like any of the other receivers.
Jim, we appreciate it so much. We're going to come back, and very soon we're going to have interviews from the sideline. Chris Babb is down there now at senior night, and Chris has a senior who scored a touchdown tonight. My guess is he's getting a few pictures made as well as getting some interviews done. So we're not quite there yet, but hang on, folks, because we're going to have interviews from the sideline coming to us from Chris Babb. And we'll join you again for the rest of the postgame show when we come back after this.
R&T Dixon's Exxon stores are proud to support this Arkadelphia Badger broadcast. Locally owned and operated by Randy and Tanya Dixon, we welcome you to visit one of our locations in Arkadelphia or Caddo Valley at each I-30 exit. We're also excited to open a bigger and better Tiger Mart at 10th and Pine in Arkadelphia next spring. R&T Dixon's Exxon stores say, Go Badgers!
Arkadelphia Tire and Outfitters is locally owned and operated by James and Tara Rollins, who were both raised here and continue to be active in our community. Arkadelphia Tire and Outfitters offers a variety of services from engine and transmission replacements to brakes, front end alignments, tire repair and replacement, and engine diagnosis on most makes and models. Stop by Arkadelphia Tire and Outfitters at 1802 Pine Street or give them a call today at 870-210-5269. Supporting Arkadelphia for years, Arkadelphia Tire and Outfitters says, Go Badgers!
Now managed by the Van Dorn Group, Sonic of Arkadelphia is ready to get involved in the Arkadelphia community. With the goal of making improvements to the Arkadelphia restaurant, the Van Dorn Group is committed to making Sonic of Arkadelphia one of the best around. Stop by Sonic of Arkadelphia today for a Route 44 slush or drink to go with the great Sonic burgers, tater tots, or french fries. Top it off with your favorite ice cream treat. Visit Sonic of Arkadelphia on 10th Street today and tell them thanks for their support of the Arkadelphia Badgers.
You belong at Patterson Federal Credit Union. No matter your financial needs, Patterson has products to help. We offer all types of accounts, savings, Christmas club, and a variety of checking accounts, including one specially tailored to teenagers. Certificates and IRAs are also available. If you're in need of a loan, we can help you with auto, recreation, personal, and home loans. Patterson Credit Union has several strategies to help build or repair credit, including our own credit card program, credit builder loans, and financial counseling. We're proud to have served Clark County for 65 years and look forward to many more years to come. Join us soon. You belong here.
Final score in Arkadelphia tonight, the Badgers 56 and Waldron 6. But it's not just in Arkadelphia where Badger fans are celebrating, because in the first half tonight we ran a crawl line and gave a cell phone number, and we said, tell us if you're watching, what your name is, if you're an alumnus, when you graduated, if you're a relative of a player, tell us about that relationship. And we got 78 responses during the first half during the limited amount of time that we ran the crawl line. Chase, we're just so honored to be able to bring the game to so many people far and wide. Some folks who were from class of 1965, 1968, 1969, and folks who graduated very, very recently who may not be living in Arkadelphia anymore but still want to follow the Badgers. We had text from San Diego, from Seattle, multiple texts from Seattle, from as far east as Virginia and North Carolina, and of course from South Korea tonight. And so we're so pleased to be able to bring you these games and pleased to hear from you tonight. We appreciate everybody who's watching us, and love the fact that we can bring you the video from Coleman Callan as well as the commentary of the game from Chase, and my opportunity to continue to do some play-by-play for Arkadelphia. We love doing this, and we're going to be back with you next week from Ashdown. Now, we don't always know when we go on the road exactly how strong the internet signal is going to be, but hang with us because we believe we're going to be able to bring you everything that we normally bring you, which is the audio, the video, the whole shooting match, with the good equipment that we have and the opportunity to work with good people like Coleman and Chase, Jim Rothwell on stats. We're going to bring you offensive and defensive players of the game, and it's not easy to choose. I want to start, Chase, just because while we could choose any of those 5 receivers that we just mentioned, maybe especially Trip Campbell with 2 touchdowns tonight, Donovan Whitten, I mean, my goodness, we're talking about a guy who was 11 for 17 passing, 283 yards in 2 quarters, 4 touchdown passes, and a touchdown rushing. He's my offensive player of the game, although what a strong supporting cast. We haven't even mentioned the fact that he can't do any of that without the offensive line. The whole unit is a unit, and they play well together.
That's right, Jeff, and really, I think you kind of hinted to it there. My pick would probably be Trip Campbell in this one, because you look at Donovan Whitten, really the captain of this team, but Trip Campbell is a guy who's been really one of those silent leaders in the wide receiving corps this year, and this really felt like his breakout game. He did a great job not only in getting into the end zone first with the Badgers, but really it was those little catches, too, that set up the tempo, because he really set up his own first touchdown with a nice gain before that, then had some really nice catches in the left corner of the end zone, including one where the defense was draped all around him. He was able to resist the contact, and he was able to bring the ball down. And ironically, he was tripped up just short of his 3rd touchdown there in the first half, but really an overall excellent performance from Campbell. So not only for his leadership here tonight, but his leadership throughout the season and through seasons past, Campbell would be my pick.
I like that pick, too. Campbell did lead the team in both receptions and yardage tonight, 95 yards receiving, 4 catches. Of course, 5 receivers all did a super job tonight. So 2 offensive players of the game. Then we're going to go Whitten, 283 yards in 1 half of play, 4 touchdowns passing, 1 rushing. But Trip Campbell with a big game, senior, came through with 2 of those receiving touchdowns. Defensive player of the game. What, you know, just look at the roster. You can choose anybody in that starting defense.
I almost wish you could give it to just about everybody on the defensive front, because this truly is a team effort. A couple of the standouts, of course, Kelburn Middleton coming away with the interception in the red zone. And this may seem a little bit biased because we share the first name, but Chase Vandelborg with the nice return there on the blocked punt, was able to catch the deflection and had the wherewithal to get around to the edge and dodge some defenders, returning it to the house for a touchdown.
I tell you what, the defensive line also put a lot of pressure on the quarterback all throughout the game, so it was difficult for him to get a free look at his receivers for Waldron when he threw it downfield. But I'm going to go with you because I was so impressed with what was a special teams play instead of a defensive play. Still, when a linebacker has the ball flutter in front of his face mask, he reaches up, grabs the ball, and runs for a touchdown. That's impressive. He's had a good year all year, so Chase Vantelberg is our defensive player of the game. And we're just about ready for interviews, I think. Let's see if we can go directly to Chris Babb, interviews down on the sideline on senior night.
Head coach Trey Shucker and someone else. Coach, congratulations, big win. Your offense got on track quickly, and they didn't let up and cruised to a nice victory.
Really did. It's a great senior night overall. You saw a lot of seniors able to make plays today, especially on offense. We had a lot of seniors that were able to score. It's always a really good thing to do on senior night. And then on defense, saw a lot of seniors stepping up, making plays. Marvion had a big punt block. We saw a lot of really good tackles and getting them off the field. Really good job overall.
Coach, you had an off week last week to get ready for this one. Now you get a regular week, I guess, to get ready for Ashdown next week.
We're excited about it. We're happy that we're continuing to play, and we're excited that we get to prepare for another opponent. And very, very good team win tonight. We're ready to move forward.
All right, Coach, congrats.
Thank you. Go Badgers.
All right, let's see, just before we go off the air, let's see if we can get an update on the Ashdown score. We had a fourth quarter score of 20-14, Ashdown over Nashville. Let's see if they're able to hold on against Nashville. It was lopsided, though, in Mena when Malvern took over in the second half and had a 47-14 lead in the fourth quarter. Now we've got a score in which Nashville has grabbed the lead over Ashdown 28-20 with only 1:44 left in that football game. So Ashdown might be stumbling a bit here before the showdown with Arkadelphia.
And at this point in the season, this is really not where you're wanting to lose the momentum, especially in a shortened conference season like we've seen. We mentioned that only 6 members in the conference this year, so you only really have 5 chances to go out against those conference opponents. And we mentioned it on our broadcast when we were in Nashville a few weeks ago. They've got some players on that team that can really make a difference. And that's been the case tonight down the stretch in Ashdown. Ashdown is not an easy place to win, but the Scrappers are able to come away. They were down early, but they've been able to battle back. And, you've got to be looking at that as a Panther fan and concerned because you look back a few weeks ago, Arkadelphia beat Nashville on their turf 49-12. Now you're seeing the Scrappers taking down the Panthers on their home turf. Of course, you don't want to compare games too much, but you start to look at those comparisons, and you got to feel a little bit of concern if you're Ashdown.
Right, 1:44 left in that game, but an 8-point lead for Nashville. And earlier in the fourth quarter, it was 20-14, the lead for Ashdown. Now 2 fourth quarter touchdowns, and up by 8 is where Nashville is right now. I'll tell you what. When you're a favorite, and Arkadelphia has the right to be the favorite in these last 2 games, the Badgers are the number 1 team in 4A in multiple polls and are playing like the number 1 team in 4A, no doubt about it. When you're the favorite, you look out for those chances for teams to really get up and be ready to play against you and pull an upset. Arkadelphia, though, has been able to be ready for every single game. That's a sign of good coaching and good seniors.
That's exactly right, and the Badgers have even had their fair share of times where they've had to come back from down a deficit themselves. We look back to the Hot Springs game early in the season. Badgers trailed for most of that game, but they were able to battle, stay within that game, and that allowed them to stay into it all the way to the end where they had that opportunity and they capitalized. Now with Ashdown, obviously 2 different teams, but you've got to be very careful because last year's game, Ashdown got down early, and sometimes the Panthers have had this reputation over the past few years to where once they get down in a game, some people start to think that they're out of it, and that has happened at times. But you look back to that game last year, Arkadelphia was leading 28-0. They ended up winning the game by 4. The Panthers didn't give up on that game.
Right.
Took it all the way down to the wire. Yeah. So really, it's just going to be a matter of which Ashdown is going to show up down the stretch in that game. Obviously, some signs of concern, but we know that there is a lot of talent on that team, and we know that Ashdown can be a very tough place to play.
And we know that Arkadelphia is on quite a roll right now with another win tonight. I want to say thank you to Coleman Callan on camera. He saved us tonight when the electricity went out upstairs, but he pulled out the batteries and kept us on the air. Say thank you to Coleman Callan, to Jim Rothwell, my long-term partner, doing our stats tonight, for, I tell you what, the great Chase Hartzell with us every week, bringing us good luck. Big wins coming from Chase and from Chris Babb, the quarterback of our team. I want to say thank you for tonight's action and for every time that you join us from wherever you are. Final score tonight was Arkadelphia 56-6 over Waldron. Badgers remain undefeated, #1 in the state in Class 4A. This is Jeff Root. Good night, everybody. And Mary Kate and Abby, Grandpa is on his way home.